Welcome to the Invasion Session 19. There we go. We're in. We've opened the game. So it's the 9th of September 2020. I'm Ryan, the GM. Here are some players.
Hi there, my name is Gregor. I play Adair, an Air Genasi who was a bit of a rogue but is now going through all kinds of changes.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and tonight I will be playing Fleabite the Skaven. Still pretty terrible at everything. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hello, Colin. I will be Banger, who is a weird sort of priestly type or good guy. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Fellow.
Son of a gun.
Rootin' tootin'.
Mm-hmm. Other such phrases. Maybe
I
applicable.
would say he's probably less rootin'.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I was pretty at home on Akaton in the old, frontier life, as it were. Well, West. Anyway, so, what do you remember from last time? Whenever ago that was.
Then went to another.
So I do remember I got Adair got a whole load of stuff downloaded into his brain.
Yup.
But he doesn't have access to it yet. It's like filtering, if you will.
Yeah, unspooling. Yeah.
Unspooling. So I don't actually know what that has taught me yet. I mean, it could just be a whole bunch of GIF comics for all I know.
Yeah. just GIFs.
Comic stands.
Yeah.
Just GIFs. Random GIFs saved from the late 90s. Yeah, because it was the 26th of August we last played, guys. So it's been a wee while.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I can still remember.
It was called Intense Headaches, if that helps anyone's memories.
We were intense. As I said, we went from 10A to 10B. The Anarch said something effective. Dragons, eh? Tell me more. But not in that tone. She was more,
It was very broken common, yes.
and forthright and sort of. Yeah, it was still.
Alexander, anything else to add to the memories?
I remember Fleabite making tea.
I think that's every week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is Fleabite's. He succeeded in making normal tea. That's a pretty big step.
Congratulations.
Next, it wasn't a Skaven tea, which you would expect it to be.
And no one got knocked out.
This time. Yet.
I would choose the word yet.
It's not been that long since you've drank the tea, right? And Cognac isn't going to be very loud this session, so.
That's because of the tea.
Like the old man he is.
Yeah. Such an old twirl.
I do have the residual image of just the super migrained there with the Skaven rat monster just sitting on his lap trying to brew tea and then ringing his bell and things.
Yep, and using the bell as a wonderful portable teacup or bowl. Yeah, this is my tea bell. Yes, the Jezebel. That's good. That's good. Anything else you want to remember or add? Because I think you've remembered the Damien went a wander around the perimeter and then you just haven't seen nor heard of him ever again.
Do we think something happened? Oh my.
No. Weirdly. Nope. Not a single concern.
Okay.
That's,
we only just met him. He's gone. He's a weirdo anyway. He lives in the woods.
Some sort of ranger, they do that.
Yeah.
They come, they go. That's how it
He
works.
sits in the corner.
I didn't steal anything off him.
Fleabite's holding his eyes. Yep. Yeah, definitely didn't, have Fleabite kill him in his sleep. Nope, definitely not. Fleabite coughs up a boot or an arrow. Oh dear. But anyway, so goals. We don't talk about them ever. Actually, yep, that's the new rule.
There are
So
no goals.
yep.
We
Oh.
talk about the first rule of goals. is don't talk about them.
Yes.
I think I know the second rule.
So Adair, just to reiterate, your goal is currently why are the chuds here? These chuds in this world. Okay.
Yes.
And then we have a Fleabite's goal of learn how to properly brew the special tea. And then we have a Venger's goal of convince these weirdos I'm worth listening to. As he sits in the tent listening to someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good.
Look,
He will never accomplish that goal.
Give him time. You never know.
I'm a realist.
Mm.
Fine. I'll revise downward.
The idea, though, right, of just that phrase, I'm a realist, in an RP where you're, even with the classes you're playing.
So much a realist am I that I couldn't help but choose a grounded class.
Yeah, right.
Grounded,
I got you.
grave cleric, and spores.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, is what I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, obviously have a good think about goals during the session, right? Because things may dynamically shift. Or not. Who knows? And we'll see how that goes. Right. So, you're in front of the Anarch. You had just met the wonderful lady. And, quite rightly so, she had mentioned, tell me of this dragon. I think it was literally tell me of this dragon egg, though.
Did we get her name?
Just her, she's known as the Anarch.
Yeah, military leader.
Oh, she's there. For everybody's perusal.
That's it.
Never. Someone, how dare you?
Ooh, she looks angry. Maybe because she lost her nose.
It's like a monk. I think I said that last time.
You said that about everybody here. Yeah, they all kind of look a bit monk-esque.
Someone else said it too, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, but she's pretty cool. So, who speaks first? Who explains?
I have no idea what they're talking about, so not me.
I think Fleabite should. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah, Fleabite should do all the talking.
Right, so is that how this is going to go and it's just you three? Is that how it's going to go? Is it just going to be, Fleabite, what's your opinion? And it is going to be the fucking Lord Commander General Fleabite in the end of this game.
I do have the dream that it's going to end with the big spaceship exploding and Fleabite just falls to the ground outside Visteli Hamalish's office. And she's just like, who are you? I don't even remember seeing you in the briefing. Were you the weird thing hiding behind the turtle?
It offers her tea from the bell.
Tea, milady. At this point, you speak politely.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I mean, yeah, but in this moment though, Alexander, what does Fleabite? What does Fleabite do in this moment with the wonderful Anarch?
Yes. Fleabite probably hops down from the turtleneck, not get back on for now. And he probably looks around, noticing that Adair is still in migraine mode. The turtle has gone very quiet, and this weird dwarf thing, beard thing, sorry, doesn't seem to have much input, and it falls to him to.
Because Adair's nursing a terrible headache. He can't even focus right now.
Yeah, and I guess Fleabite would say, "Yeah, yes, great dragon egg in Mammoth Thing house."
The Anarch just stares at you. Looks over to Ordek. Looks back at you guys. And then says, Mammoth Thing's house.
Yes, yes. It is where we were sent fetch scurry by Tall Metal Face.
Metal face.
That'd be Richter Van, I think.
Who is
Why-
this Rictor?
Ritor, he is king of land that we are going to have one day.
She just looks over the three of you. Very kind of slowly. How is this related to the egg?
It is.
Yes, yes. Metal Face make us fetch scurry, destroy egg.
That.
No. Just like you can see her very visibly tense up at that. You know, like somebody that was having a very confusing conversation suddenly feels threatened. Like, no. If there is a dragon egg in this world, it must be preserved. It must be hatched.
What is egg to you? You are not from here.
Salvation. Safety. A weapon.
You can control a dragon.
Like, she clearly like snorts, exhale type. You know, like there's definitely an exhalation through like the nostrils, that don't exist, and
Yeah.
like it's a bit more like kind of almost like a blowhole effect, right? Like where it's just this kind of like almost type,
Like dolphin or whale.
like just like complete frustration, right? Through the exhalation, it's obviously very hard to hide, and turns back and says, "Control? Why would you wish to control?"
If you use this weapon, you must control dragon, no?
The dragon is the weapon. We would not use it. It will save us from the enemy.
You mean the Git Yankee?
She looks like very like disappointedly at Oradak, and then like he kind of just shrugs his hands out to the sides, like I didn't know what they were going to say, you know. And then goes back to her and she says, "If a dragon egg exists, it must be recovered. It must be hatched. This dragon must be raised, and then we will be free."
But won't this take a long time to raise a dragon?
Kind of like starts like shaking her head. Goes, "How can your world have a dragon egg and you know nothing of their kind?"
They drink a lot.
Yes, yes. Hold warp fire in hands, more often burn self-hurt than throw at enemy, yes?
And she just looks over at Vanger, expecting something equally as nonsense.
I just sort of smile serenely. I don't know what their deal with the dragon is. Can you expecting it also? I imagine.
Well, we did not really know what to do if we find dragon egg. We were sent to a Victor via Little Runstead to. No, not Little Runstead, sorry.
So Rictor and
yeah.
Little Bellinor.
Bellinor.
There we go.
Me. It's not just my character.
It's okay. It's been a while.
We were sent for important information. Next thing we know, we are in dinner where we are not fed. Then we are sent to get egg because we are going to be given town. But town is not Richter's, maybe. Might be lady with fancy teeth.
Fancy teeth.
That. She is quite pretty at times, but other times she is also man. So it's making me feel things. It's funny.
Again, she looks tense and looks over Ordak. Like, what the fuck, Ordak? And looks back and then says, "You know where this egg is?"
We have rough idea of which city is in. Unfortunately, that person who had map to place, he unfortunately died en route. I believe he did have some more information than I do, but he's gone. So now we are kind of here, and we are with you, and we are here.
So, as an out of game aside, I think if I was a player, I would be seriously looking at the cleric, being like, is it really wrong if we dragged Alvin's corpse around and we used Speak with Dead every so often to get like an update on where the map markers are? Is that wrong? I think that's wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. The only wrong thing is I don't think we have a cleric, do we?
Yep.
We must find a cleric.
We do. Oh, we do.
It does this. It's the same as when we.
I don't think I have speak with head though.
Luckily though, as a cleric, you can change your
You
spells
can
out.
ritual cast it.
You can just change your spells every day. Ritual casting's
Oh,
more
can't
the way. You need to prepare them to be ritual cast. It just means you don't waste the the spell slot. It's the only
Alright.
difference. You still need to prep the spell.
Right.
Yep. Otherwise, clerics and any that works that way, clerics, druids, and I think that's it. Like, would just be absolute OP, beyond what they are normally. Yes. Thank you, Alexander. And yeah. So back in the scene, she's clearly in deep thought, right? She starts to process things. You can see like her eyes kind of like darting from like left to right as if working things out. Says, "You can get to this mammoth thing place."
We believe so, yes. We have great confidence.
And you will go and secure the egg.
Will, what do we get if we do this?
Get?
Well, the Richter, he is promising us city.
Your cities will mean nothing if you are dead.
This is true. Oh, I see what you are meaning.
And she cocks her head slightly and looks at you.
I'm sorry, I'm having terrible headache. The past few days, it's been very strange for me.
You do not know the enemy.
Yet.
And she kind of looks over at Ordak, and he kind of just nods solemnly. And then she kind of looks back, says, "I am told you will. In time."
We have met this enemy along with the Oradak. He has in fact helped us through times with this enemy, but we do not know anything about them.
No, they taste so.
No. And she kind of waves her hand dismissively.
One.
She kind of nods. The enemy. Not our lost brothers.
Lost brothers?
She kind of narrows her eyes and kind of looks at you. And then you just feel like someone touched your shoulder. It's clearly Oradak has moved behind you. And you hear him say, "The Githyanki are our lost brothers. The enemy are an enemy to all."
So, who is the enemy if not the Lost Brothers?
The Illithid.
Hey, can you say it again, please?
And then we rewind the tape, and you hear her say the Illithid.
Illithid.
Illithid, yes. That's the word you hear.
Did Orodak telepathically tell there?
Yes, he did. He did.
You'd have heard Adair kind of verbally go, Illithid, Illithid.
So,
Illithid.
the Illithid was said by her, right?
Oh.
She answered that, but Orodak had corrected Adair.
About the gift. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can probably have made the assumptions that he was supposed to brief you guys before coming to speak to her, so she could get like the answer she needed, and that's obviously not happened. So, or at least not as efficiently as she would have liked.
Is Illithid a term that we'd be familiar with in the universe, or is that more from their world?
I mean, I feel like you'd need to roll history and get a really high number.
I will roll history.
Yeah.
And get a very low number. Got that right.
Do you know what? I'll take it. You have never heard of the term Illithid in any of like your studies, as it were.
When I hear the word Illithid, does anything pop into my head via my download?
Nothing yet.
Damn it.
Nothing yet. That's going to take time to unspool, and it has been all of like 5 minutes.
True.
If that, in fact. We're possibly just coming up to the 5 minute mark since that's happened.
Yeah, but it's been 2 weeks of 5 minutes.
Yes.
How time works in this world is amazing.
It is like we've had a whole day in 8 sessions.
Oh God.
Yep.
Not again, please.
5 minutes and 2 weeks is a new record, I think, to be honest.
Challenge accepted.
How are you going to...
Oh,
Anyway,
God, that reminds me of Logan's Run.
Oh.
Oh, that freaked me out. Sorry.
Okay.
Film I haven't seen.
yeah, same, actually. Or like, I've been in the room when it was on when I was younger, but never actually sat and watched it.
Not as a promo or a prompter for anybody listen, but it is a must-watch film because it is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, that is one of those classics. I mean, it does not live up because it was made very early in the 70s, but it's brilliant.
Okay. So, yeah, Illithid. I mean, you and, well, Fleabite probably can't roll history on this one, sadly. Like, there, you could roll history if you wanted to.
I was about to say, if it didn't come through in my download straight away, I will try and force myself to be like,
Reboot, yeah.
just double check. History. Skadoosh. Oh, for
Night of the Seven.
Fleabite, can you just roll history? It means nothing, right? But I just want to see what happens. Oofed. Oofed.
Oh, he got one in front of his.
Yeah.
Oofed. At least it's a 7.
Well, and I have a -1.
Yeah.
So you use the -1, get rid of the 1, it's a 7.
Yep. Perfect maths. Yep. Fleabite maths. But if you take away the 1, there's only a 7 left. No, but the 1 means 10, but there's only 1 of it. Oh dear. So good. So good.
Oh, this is a good start.
Yeah, right. So, annoyingly, because of Fleabite's background, I really can't give Fleabite any information on that. Like,
Yeah.
plus,
No.
I really don't think you would have read anything in this world, would you have? So,
He was in a book, if that helps.
does it? Probably not. But yeah, so I think we just can safely say that Fleabite knows that he doesn't know anything very comfortably, and that the other two
Yeah.
possibly are like, maybe I have heard of it, maybe I haven't, and probably haven't with the 7 each. And then
For once, Fleabite is actually accepting of something that he doesn't understand.
he's come to terms with it very effectively, and
This excellent. I hope you can't hear it, but my dog.
No.
No?
I was mostly pleased that my stepdad stopped sawing wood for the stream to start. That was very nice.
Eating it. Furniture.
So we moved from sawing to gnawing. Yeah. Oh dear. No, he's been very, very, very handy after making the kind of gazebo thing that he made to house the potential hot tub, and then he's made a bin shed for the bins as well. It's very good. It's doing pretty well. You could say God's work, but I wouldn't, because it's not. It's Jim's work. So right. So anyway, back in the game that we're here to play, the Anarch looks at you all and then says, "You will learn of them in time." And looks straight at you, Adair, as if implying maybe the unspooling will take time, and maybe you need to wait for that to happen.
Adair nods while sort of holding the brow in between his eyes, kind of like,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so she says, You cannot rule if there are only ashes remaining.
Is good point you making. These Illithid, they are the enemy who are going to destroy all?
And then she kind of nods. She says, they travel, hunt, consume.
What do they hunt?
For Fleabite, it's in the Discord TI chat apparently. Feel free to copy paste it over if you want.
L-F-N.
Yeah. The problem is when you're dyslexic, that doesn't help.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong the first time.
Just,
Although that does sound like a really interesting, like, Nordic race.
yeah.
Like the Fjarl.
Yeah. Why? Why is this? Why is this it? What? Just shakes head. Oh. Fjarl. But yes.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So anyway,
What? Yes. What do they hunt?
new hosts.
Hosts? What is hosts?
Just points to each of the three of you.
No, I am Geeth. No, I'm not Geeth. I'm Genasi.
I waited. You got there.
It's been a long day.
Also, there's the gazebo we built and the concrete platform beneath to house said potential hot tub.
Nice.
Yeah, it's alright. He's not a joiner. You know?
Avid DIYer.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Anyway, that was just my really long arms. I could reach out my window and take that picture. Oh dear. But yes, so you say like, you know, I'm
Genasi.
Genasi, and she says, like, she looks at Oridak very quickly and then looks back at you and then says, "You are one of the old ones?"
Well, I'm in my 20s, but my people have been around for a long time.
You're like, she's clearly lost in thought at this. And
Adair sort of turns back round to, I've forgotten his name again, Ordak.
Oridak, yeah.
Kind of like, what is going on?
He just kind of like grips your shoulder reassuringly and just like nods forward, right? Like, you know, like, it'll be fine, you know. And she like stops, like pacing up and down, and then turns back and says, You found your way to this camp. You tell me of a salvation in the form of the last egg of a dragon, and you know not of the ancients beyond being one of them.
I was not raised by my people. I was orphaned.
It's kind of like you. It's almost like you've told someone you just had tea with Santa Claus, right? Like, you know, it's that kind of look on someone's face, that almost like bewilderment, like shock and awe, and not to be confused.
Please tell me if you know anything about my people. I would love to know this. I've asked many peoples, but they never know.
In time. First, the egg. We must secure this dragon egg. It must be hatched safely and swiftly.
We can lead maybe you or your people to egg, but we know nothing of raising egg or hatching eggs. In fact, I'm pretty sure the flea bit, he would try and eat the egg.
She kind of just looks at you, Fleabite, very like you've just broke something she handed you. Very quickly snaps her like attention to you.
I make like wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, why not? Is this against some kind of like fear or?
More like be profound. Never
Hmm.
mind.
Was the saving throw to not be profound, or was it to be profound?
I mean, I feel like no. I guess what Fleabite would do, especially given that, is probably like be like really sheepish and just like looking at the floor and like, you know, that way where the character in the TV show just like covers his eyes, looks away.
Oh, I didn't quite see you there because my hand was blocking you. Yes. Yeah, I can see it. And then she says, "This egg must not be consumed. It must be hatched." She just looks at you again, Adair, as if taking you at your word, not reading into the subtext joke you were making.
Well, can you maybe give us information on the egg so as we can at least, if we are to save egg, we can transport and bring to you in a safe way?
She kind of like narrows her eyes and then kind of like goes, "I can give you all the information we currently have." And she like turns around and looks for like, you know, goes through like some of the stuff that's like piled up next to like her big crazy throne thing that she's got going on, you know, her big chunk of crystal, and she like, you know, raked through some like big leather satchel type things that look like big chests made of leather, and you know, you hear some like scribblings of like a quill, and turns around and hands you a piece of parchment.
Thank you.
Like unfurl it, and when you look at it, it's a.
Can I read it?
It's just a picture of an egg. It's literally just like, you know, an ovoid, like, or not an ovoid, but like an oval. And
does it have any like scale on it?
I mean, not this thing that's just been literally drawn 2 seconds ago. No, it says mostly a very rudimentary oval that she's drew, and then literally like she didn't know about the egg 2 seconds ago, and now you're like, "I'll give us all the information you got," because well, it's probably going to look like that.
Is this all information you have?
Large. It will be difficult to move.
It's not problem. We have our big turtle, Kognik. He's very strong.
Every day observes a tumbleweed go by briefly,
Damn it.
but the tumbleweed is actually, in fact, just a tortoise shell. just rolling.
Familiar with
She nods.
why? How used on account? I would have to assume if you're out, but you are saying very least save with that. But if you're familiar with them, you've already encountered them.
Hmm.
These things have out of them. I find that a little confusing, I have to say.
And she looks at Ordak. And like Ordak like moves around the three of you and goes over to her. And like they have like an exchange very quietly. And then Ordak just kinda like tight lip nods at everybody, you know? Like, and then she says, it's like she sits on her like throne thing, you know, the almost like bench seat style throne. And she says, we have been running and we need to stop. The enemy have grew in number. The storm ship above, kind of like gestures vaguely above her head, is but one of many.
Hmm.
And one is enough to control this world.
Only the one can control whole world.
She kind of nods. The potential salvation brought by a fully grown dragon is enough to destroy this vessel.
But if you are saying that these taking the hosts, do you mean that they are taking people over?
She nods.
But if we destroy the sheep with the dragon, do we save or kill the peoples they have taken over?
They are dead.
So when they take over, it is done.
She
You
nods.
cannot bring them back.
Shakes her head. It has been tried.
Oh, with no luck so far.
And she says it has been tried many times and many people have been lost in the attempts.
Is maybe not some sort of new magic in this world that you are not familiar with who could save them?
She kind of like narrows her eyes as if, you know, she can't really answer that right, but the idea of her like agreeing is maybe a bit painful. And it's not a pride thing, it's more of a don't give her hope, right? You know, that type of vibe you're getting from this look, you know, very pained look. Like, you know, she's clearly older and lost a lot of people to this through the years. So she'll
terrible nod and back off a wee bit.
and she says, if a way presents itself, and she just kind of like leaves it at that. And then, yeah, maybe there's like an awkward 30 seconds or some shit, right? Of like just silence unless any of you say anything. Maybe it goes on for a minute, and then
I think this. Oh, it's Fleabite.
I don't know. Is Fleabite trying to talk?
Yeah,
Hello.
I think Fleabite will just say, yes. Pack Lord set loose great abominations upon man-things. It was to save Nest Warren. Abomination ate all other Skaven it found and ran away from man things. Sometimes it is not best to faith in others.
She kind of just nods. And then, I think with that, she stands back up and says, "You know where this egg is, and if we move from this camp, our wounded would have to be left behind, and I have lost too many to want this. Will you go and recover this egg?"
We understand. We will need to talk, but we believe we would be happy to do this if you can maybe supply us with things to help. Maybe not peoples, but things.
What things do you see here that you could need?
Well, you see, to travel with the Dragon Egg is going to take strength. Do you maybe have carts and beasts you can spare to help us?
And like, do you want to roll perception retroactively? And we'll see if this maybe dawns on you. Yeah, I think maybe at that point she kind of looks at you, and then maybe that reminds you that you saw nothing like that. You turned up with carts.
Yeah, true.
And you saw nothing but like wounded people everywhere, and like soldiers that had seen better days.
So this is their only camp.
So it seems, right?
It was just in case they had like a garrison.
I mean, the thing is, like, they did imply, right? Like, I think Ordak has implied up until this point that this is like one of them, right? Like, this isn't like the only like a Githzerai that are here. This is just the ones they have, right? It's not like they can just go out searching for more, because where the hell are they in the whole world, right? They wouldn't. And considering the Githyanki are equally as like dispersed, I guess. Like, yeah, it's a tough one, you know, because it's like if I send people out, more will get injured, and we don't have enough people here actually like recovering as quickly as we would like. Obviously, we've got in the background we have Thea and Haranen actually, you know, doing what they can to try and help like alleviate. But I mean, their abilities to like stem the wounded are finite, right? Per day, and some of these people don't have many days left in them. So yeah, it is one of those things where it's like you can tell like she's like started to make some form of fortification here, and it's not like it would hold up to much at the moment, right? Like like with you guys here, and so like the able-bodied Githzerai that are here probably could reasonably hold out against a fairly small attack, again, like from Githyanki or anything, quite frankly. But yeah, like if the wounded get worse, and then they sent people off with you guys, or even just whatever like very finite supplies they have, like a couple of angry bears could trash this place. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So, and it's, you know, Oradak and the Anarch would probably be completely fine, right? Because, like, you know, despite what Oradak has been through, he seems to be holding together. Yeah, right? Like, he seems to be holding together pretty well. And obviously, if he is subservient to her, you can probably tell that she is, baller is the term, right? So
can we take Oradak?
You could ask, right?
Hey, Oradak, you want to come with us? Come on, it'll be fun. You can hold my hand.
He kind of like narrows his eyes and kind of like shakes his head very briefly, like and then
it's what I thought.
The Anarch says, "Oradak is needed here. Without him, we would not be able to search for the others."
This is why he is traveling. This is why we bump into him in strange places.
Yes. From what I've been told, you've met Oradak before.
Yes, as I see, we meet him and he helped us out.
She kind of like nods. He goes, "The child that was protected She looks at like the group as if is this still the same? Is this the case? And by the group, she mostly looks at the people that were there, not Vanger.
I'm probably just looking between everyone. The extremely neutral expression.
The minute she mentioned the child, Adair's eyes opened even further despite the headache.
Yes, and she says, if I am able to reconvene the fractions of the tribes, I will try to free up Orodek to join you.
Tell me, your people, I realize they are all over the world. Do they leave markings to show which way they travel so as you can find them? My peoples, they have a technique of doing this. I was wondering, do you?
We must be careful about the footsteps we leave behind. She kind of like narrows her eyes because her common is very bad.
So's mine. It's fine.
Yeah, and so's Fleabites. I like the idea that Fleabite says ditto. How articulate of him. Oh dear, ridiculous. But yes, so the Anarch standing in front of you says, we would be ill protected if we allowed ourselves to be tracked. This is why Orodek must seek out the others.
So your people, they don't travel to most western point every time you arrive in New World. You just hope to meet each other.
She looks at you and goes, Western.
What?
Yeah, she just repeats the word Western.
You know, you travel to the west, or you travel to the east, or sometimes you travel to the north.
And she kind of looks at Orodek, and he kind of like shrugs, and then looks back at you and says, not everywhere we travel has the same rules.
I believe I understand. This is why you do not pre-plan how to meet up. I understand.
Our travelling is not always voluntary, and not all of us can make it. Unfortunately, there are fragments of our people scattered in previous worlds.
They not all make through with you.
She kind of like shakes her head with like her eyes closed.
I'm sorry for loss.
She kind of looks at you and goes, not loss. They were taken. She kind of like nods, like very like briefly with you, like understand. The enemy is the problem. Taken. Yeah. And then she says, will you bring us salvation?
Adair looks to Fleabite and Vagnar, because you're with us, and Cognac in spirit.
Yes. Just a fucking Force Ghost turtle.
He just looks grumpy. It's
to be fair, that would be Alvin, right? The Force Ghost.
Oh,
Dragon is open. And I believe dragon. But I can't help.
Kind of nods, kind of, you know, fairly respectfully, because she knows you've helped out here, right, quite a bit already. So, you know, you have been quite a useful stranger to have met, as far as she's concerned.
Useful.
It's probably the nicest compliment your characters have ever had.
Yeah.
And what's Fleabite doing when Adair turns to him?
I think Fleabite's probably a bit like as is probably kind of obvious, the thought of a dragon is pretty terrifying.
Mhm.
And just like cities being torn down is a lot more tangible being caused by a dragon than a spaceship.
Mhm.
So it's a bit like I guess I might say, yes, let us hope none of us get burnt.
She kind of nods. She says, "Yes. Ideally, the enemy are the only ones to suffer the dragon." Kaz nods and looks at everyone. And like,
Then, I believe is agreed. We are going to get this dragon egg for you.
and nods, and then she sits back on her fancy chair, and then just kind of like does that thing where politely looking to the side, you know, it's the subtle cue of now leave.
That
Or that goes and just holds like the flap of the tent open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Adair leaves.
Yeah.
Shuffle off behind.
Mhm.
Does Ardak come with us, or does he stay in the tent?
Whenever he leaves, assuming everybody does leave, and Felipe doesn't just start dragging stuff of hers out, then yeah.
I mean, that chair was looking pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty damn shiny, right? Slowly drags her out with them. Oh dear. I mean, because Felipe is pretty tough, to be fair, right? He's quite a strong boy, right? He's got like a decent strength score.
Stronger than he looks.
Yeah. It's proportional. But yes, like I think these are now like walking down the path that led like from her kind of big tent, kind of big Mongolian style tent, you know, like big kind of yeah.
With the guards outside. Which
Yes.
I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Zerth?
Yeah. Let's say that was their names anyway. That rings a bell. Let me just quickly double check that. Yes, Zerth.
Zerth. Sorry.
Zerth.
Zerth.
And so yeah, like Ordak's just kind of like walking behind you, as if, like, you know, the group of you, like, I guess head back to like wherever you were sleeping, right? Or just head back into his tent. Like, what do you do?
Well, I would turn to Vanguard. Adair would turn to Vanguard and just be like, "So you are okay to join us to get this egg to help these peoples?"
Yes. I don't know exactly what they have in mind, but I do think that we've got a clear choice in it. If you are willing to, then I am more fine. If your intention is Richter, then frankly, I just don't know what the man wants with a dragon.
I believe he wants us to not return egg to him. He wants us to destroy egg. He is not fan of dragons.
Yes.
But the lady, she made good point about, why have city when is going to be destroyed versus maybe help these people, and by being, heroes, we can get more than just city. Maybe we can get whole country.
We can get eaten, yes, by dragon.
Yet, it is egg.
I just see Fleabite willingly crawling into the dragon's mouth when he meets it. Just like, I've accepted my fate. It's fine.
All good, guys. All good.
Also takes crowbar out for teeth.
That's why he went
It's not a
into
green
it.
dragon, is it?
No, deliberately so.
Dragon certainly is frightening. That.
But he's only baby, so he's not even hatched. He's little egg. That is, look, this is scale of it, and he unrolls the letter.
Which is basically like an A4 picture of it, right? Like, it is like the equivalent of an A4 picture of an egg. Yep.
This is it. I mean, we cannot fear this. And even when hatch, what comes out is small.
Oh, no, but the
Small things can hurt still, yes.
It's true, we have met you.
prospect of facing that thing hanging over, even without knowledge what it could, I
Mm,
don't fancy it myself.
Will,
I don't know that without if
It-
they any worlds. Perhaps there is something if we have available to strategy dangerous. Mark,
well, she certainly is believing that the egg, the dragon, is the way to go. I'm wondering, has she ever come across dragon before, or is this like one of these myths?
And like, you all heard, you don't even need to roll insight for this, but you all heard like complete conviction and like the trust that this would be the salvation, right? Like,
Mhm.
that is entirely what this person believes.
As long
Vehemently.
as it's not just urban legend.
Yeah, then it's just Mushu. You're like, what? Oh, you're gonna talk them into leaving. I get it, because you'll just talk about things you think are fun and then it will leave. Okay, go Mushu.
Right, see, here's the bad moment. Who's Mushu again?
Mushu is the dragon from Milan.
Mulan, yes, that's
Yeah.
the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy
Yeah,
dragon.
no, it-
Yep.
Took me a minute. I've only seen it once.
Mulan, that's the genocide.
Dragon. I don't do that tongue thing.
It was worse as I knew he was quoting it, and I've only seen it once.
That's all that matters. So
Haven't
it's good. It's very good, actually.
I hear they're boycotting the remake, so that
Let's
just makes me
not
laugh.
let's not talk about that. Let's
Yeah.
move on very quickly.
TOS. TOS.
Mhm.
Vignir, do you have belongings you need to gather before we leave?
a couple of bobs. Fair to have with.
And do you need to take care of any patients before we go, or is everyone dead?
So can I just point out that really sounded like, do you have any passions you need to take care of? Like, do you want to get laid one last time before we go?
Second and then figure out what you mean. No. I
Patients.
can assist them further, but I'd really have to be there. If I'm leaving,
A moth randomly flies off of Vanger's shoulder. Like,
there's no point sticking around another day and turn them off.
That
Ed,
I believe we should gather things and start going as soon as possible. But should we we have the two? Actually, do we have 2 cars or 3? 2 cars.
you could too.
Should we try and take both cars, or should we?
I mean, one has Alvin.
See, I was going to say, what are we doing with Alvin? Are we leaving him with Thea and?
You could just leave that narratively. Like, you could have let Thea dealt with that if you wanted. And that's dealt with. And it's probably more respectful that way than Fleabite eating him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was our
And
friend.
then he would be with us forever.
He'd be with us for 24 hours until,
So, want to just narratively leave Alvin with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the best. Yeah.
Vignir, Fleabite, should we take both carts with us, or should we just take the one, as his party is smaller now?
well, I suppose that depends what useful they are. Egg's likely to be big.
Will, would we really need 2 carts, or would we need one card for egg and one card for us. I mean, remember, the egg is only this big, and he unfolds the paper.
Well, the drawing of it's only a bit.
You mean she did not draw to scale?
Shrug.
Another moth.
You know, why not? We will take both the cards. We will leave the Elven. We will take both cards. We will fill up supplies to get to where we go.
Alvin is dead one eye.
Da, he's the little dead body in the cart there, the one we sort of wrapped up a little bit. The lady Thea, the one you met, the one with the many face, she wished to have the Elven with her.
See, I only saw. Yes, that makes sense. There's no reason to bring the book.
Yeah, we already have everything that we need from the Elven physically, just not what he knew about the map. What he knew was in his mind.
You're going so French.
What level is speak with dead people?
Speak away dead people.
That's the Scottish one.
That's where you use a Ouija board, yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. Must be the money. Anyway,
you need to patent that. That's patented to anyone listening.
it's yeah.
General peace.
Speak with. Let's see. Speak with dead is a level 3 necromancy, and you can be a bard or a cleric. So
I could learn it.
So where's the bar?
I mean, we're going to end up with 3 bards, right? That's what's going to happen when we recruit new people for the game. It's just going to be bards all the way down. I also did one of those. What class are you? The one that's down the rounds just now on Facebook and such. And I got bard, and I went, I hate that I understand why I got bard, because I'm a DM. Like, it makes sense that I got a bard. As horrible as that is. Deeply horrible. Storytelling. Damn.
It does make sense.
Yeah. Ugh. So, and that really positive, joyous outlook, you know, that I'm known for.
Bards are just what interest me.
I'm gonna not have my rant. It's fine.
That's okay.
I have opinions about it.
Away.
I have opinions.
But yeah, out of character, if we want to talk to Alphans, whether or not that's disrespectful character there or odd, then I could do that. Just need to. It's on long rest. I can change the spell. Yeah.
Yes. So, do you have access to 3rd level magic though? I thought you were only.
No, actually, I don't yet. No, you're right. I don't.
I was gonna say, I think you need to be.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think you need to be 5 in one class for that. I think. Because I'm sure you only get 3rd level magic at level 5. So it might be a wee while for you yet. Because what are you just now? You're 5 just now, right? So you'd need 3 more levels, right? 2 more levels. Because you took an extra cleric, didn't you, for 5?
Yeah.
So
it's not like.
Yeah, you can only remember you can't learn. Even if you've got 3rd level slots, you can't learn 3rd level spells unless you are actually able to as a class.
Well, I thought it was the other way around.
No. It's very much not. Unless you're just not understanding what I'm saying because of the way I'm saying it this time round. I don't know. But ultimately, you are 3 cleric and 2 druid. Right? So, you have only access to 1st level magic as a druid. So any of your druid spells you can only cast you can only cast 1st level options, right? But you can cast them as 2nd level slots because you have them. And you probably have third level slots now as well, so you could cast them as third level slots as well. But they would only be first level spells from your druid list. Alternatively, because you're now 3 levels of cleric, you can cast level 1 or 2 spells, I believe. And again, you've got third level slots, which means you could cast a level 1 or 2 cleric spell as a third level slot to make its effects more effective. But you'll need to be 5th level in a singular class to cast third level spells of that class. So because Speak with Dead is a cleric spell, you need to be like 5 levels of cleric to cast it. Make sense? Like you need to be that level of a cleric to have access to that power from cleric. Multiclassing, you chose it. This is the hell you've welcomed.
Who would do multi-classing, eh?
Yeah,
party?
yeah, right.
Not us.
Out of-
Sorry, not us.
out of-
Yeah.
Out of this, us.
You mean you 6, right?
Yeah. You know, I was thinking of multiclassing again into something else.
Why not, right? Why don't just compound it, right?
Yeah. You get
and-
up to how many times?
And then just change again with your hit die as well. Just make sure it's a different hit die this time again.
Good point.
Why would you
Ooh.
keep them uniform, you know? But yeah, so you're still 2 levels away, and that's assuming you would have taken 2 more cleric levels at this point. Obviously, I think you were planning on dipping between.
One more?
So yeah, we're not there yet, sadly. It's not to say you can't find someone that can speak with dead, right?
That's true.
As well.
I have.
But that means dragging a body around with us the whole time.
Yeah, so I have 2 third levels.
Yes, which means you can still cast like I don't know. Name one of the spells you can.
Second, third level spells at. I see.
Yeah, so
Got like,
the knowledge of spells and the
heal
Power
spells,
level.
say,
yeah, you could cast that at level 3 exactly, or whatever a level 2 spell is. Sanctuary maybe that's a level 2 spell. I've played a cleric before, honest. But yes, so yeah, the only problem with that is it's unlikely Thea would let you, drag Alvin's body around for the purposes of like mapping. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll bump into someone that knows the way. Or there might be road signs. Who knows?
Is that place half the world thinks is made up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be road signs for it.
It has been quite funny though, right? Because obviously due to the nature of the people that have left the game over time, we had the actual Baru, Lauda, and then we no longer had Lauda, and then you had Alvin with the map in his mind, and he died. Then you had your navigator, Thea.
Nah, she wasn't an average. She was useless.
I never said she was good. I said she was the navigator. And captain of the ship. That I'm pretty sure Vesteel Himelisha said, any chance you could make sure it comes back? Yeah, okay. And that's on a beach somewhere, maybe.
I mean, it's still got Alvin's... Oh no, Alvin died, so his spell finishes after 2 days, so it doesn't have an alarm anymore.
Unless it's just stubborn and just, he over Alvined it, But yeah.
Hollywood students are near.
Yes. That'd be horrifying.
Built-in self-defense, students are near.
Yeah, you just hear it. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it wouldn't even be the voice, it would just be kaboom! In Alvin's voice, and then the place just goes. Yep.
Gravity magnifies everywhere.
Yep. The boat takes off. I mean, to be fair, you probably could have got away with that for a bit, right? As he just throws gravity bombs in the air, pulls the boat along. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what Alvin's approach to propelling a boat would be. Not wind and a sail. That would make sense.
Just drop a gravity bomb, wait for it to go off. And
There you go.
goes.
Yeah, what you do is you put gravity bombs at the front to pull the ship when they go off, and then you explode things at the back of the ship to push you.
Yeah, totally makes
I think
sense, actually.
that's warp drive theory, right? Sure.
You could try it for your new game, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so back in this game, where are you walking to? Just absent-mindedly, the carts where the horses and stuff are. Like, I guess.
Yeah, I would say I'd just head straight to the carts because Adair would have taken everything from the tent.
Yeah.
Like everything's on him. He doesn't really have much belongings. Yeah.
I'll go and like grab my equipment.
Yeah. So like as you are kind of like. Yeah, like as you kind of collect your stuff and pile it onto the cart, I guess you have selected to take. Because did you agree 1 or 2? Like I don't really know.
I sort of felt 2, but I mean, I guess
2.
other people differ.
No, I think 2 because what we'll do is like we'll keep supplies in 1. We don't know what we're going to come across, so 2 is probably better than 1. It just means more animals, and I'm not proficient in animal handling, land vehicles or anything, but I did all right before.
Yeah, like it just means it's going to be a bit slow going. It's not impossible to achieve.
Yeah.
It's just going to be fiddlier, right? It's still doable. The other thing is, though, it does mean if you take like 2 carts, you're obviously splitting your party up between the 2, and you're going to have to deal with 2 horses as well.
That was my concern.
Because I have a feeling that it's probably going to be Fleabite in the back cart, right?
We could take the horse with us in another sense.
What about 1 cart and 2 horses?
You could have that, yeah.
Efficient, those.
I mean, the kind of carts, are they able to be led by 2 horses instead of just 1?
Yeah, because instead of putting the horse in the middle of the 2 struts, you just put them at
on either side.
Yeah.
I would say that's the better bet then, just because of the party size, and 2 horses will be able to pull something heavy like an egg if it's bigger than we think.
Also, it's now a 2 horse. It's because it's a 2 horsepower car now.
Yeah. Oof! Look at that horsepower.
It's doubled the horsepower you had before. Oh dear. So it's the first car upgrade you've had.
So, yeah, I would say leave a cart for the Githzerai because they could probably use it more than we can.
Not without a horse, but yeah, okay.
They've got Hiranen now.
Yeah, they got Hiranen!
To make a horse or to be a horse? Like, where are you going with this?
I think you know the answer to that.
We know the answer.
I think I know the answer to that, yeah. But oof, Hiranen. Hung, drawn, and quartered, eh? Hung, drawn, and quartered. But yes, you could just leave the cart there with them. At least, if nothing else, they could build something out of it, right?
Yeah, it's firewood.
Yeah, right. And or potentially arrows. Who knows? And then you could easily just strap the 2 horses to the front of the cart, like remodel it a tiny bit, and then like be on your way. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Cool. Ordak seems to be hurrying down with a big kind of leather chest. When I say leather chest, just a very big satchel, really. And seems to be like, doing that thing where it's like, I'm moving quickly because of its heft. And like dumps it on the back of the cart and then just kind of like exhales. Kind of just nods every day and just starts patting it.
Oh?
Nods. And repeats, hello. Kind of opens it up. And it's like very vividly like kind of pearlescent crystals that it lifts out. Like quite big pearlescent crystals. Yeah, like to be honest, like they're possibly not like you'd have difficulty putting them in your mouth. Fleabite, they're that big. Yeah, it's like Fleabite 100% measures crystals. How many can put in mouth? Or up nose? They're very like
I was going to say, does Adair recognize these in any way because all the downloads he's got?
No. Again, we're at 6 or 7 minutes now. Like, yeah.
10. Maybe 10.
Yeah, okay. No, I'll give you 10. Yeah, it's maybe been 10. Like, maybe you're gonna have to sleep on that one, buddy. Right? Yes. So, the kind of crystals that we're looking at, they look like very generic, kind of like pointy, diamondy looking type crystals, in the sense that they look like 2 diamonds stuck together, I guess is maybe the better way, or like the Sims icon above their heads, right? I'm sure there's a term for one of those things.
Oh, I actually know what that looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, like a D8, yeah, but with
Bungus.
more sides. But very much like a D8.
It's not called a bungus. I'm sorry, I've lied to you.
I mean, I mostly just filtered you out at that point, to be fair.
It's alright.
But yes, so there's like 3 of those in there. 3 fairly big crystals, and he kind of like opens the thing, holds it up, and then like hands one to you, Adair.
Thank you. What is this for?
And then he like moves you, like once you're holding it, he just moves you to like just kind of by the side of the cart, and he goes back and stands with like Vanger and the Fleabite, and then just like turns his back to you, and then looks at Vanger and Fleabite, and then just like points to like the side of his head, and then over his shoulder towards Adair. Kind of just nods at you, Vanger.
Communication.
Kind of like waves his hand. Kind of nods slowly.
Oh, yeah, okay. How does it?
Kind of looks at you, and then shrugs.
As Adair's holding it, does Adair hear anything?
No, just whatever they're actually saying, right? Like just yeah.
Everyone's got it back to me, and I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there like,
Yeah, it looks like, is it gonna explode? Do I keep holding it? Yeah.
they didn't run away, so I'm okay.
Yeah. And then like he turns back around and takes it back off you and puts it in like the satchel thing, and then like pats it again, and then like lifts the satchel and like hands it to you, Vanger, very deliberately. So it got quite a bit of heft to it, as like it's dumped.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Gets dumped in your arms, and then he kind of like taps his chest with like his fists, and then like points both of his hands towards the satchel, and kind of nods at you again.
What's in the satchel? Anything else?
That's just those 3 crystals.
On scale, how big would you say they are? Like,
As I said, like Fleabite would struggle to get them in his mouth.
yeah,
They're big.
Trying to think of like a mug, a pint glass, just some.
Okay, stack 3 mugs. That would that would include like the spiky bits.
Okay, so quite large.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Pringles tube.
Oh, Pringles tube.
Probably, yeah.
Insight to see if I understand what he's talking about. 'Cause
Why not? Why not? Yeah, give it a go. Yeah. He's kind of giving you the impression that he knows where they are.
Are they like location beacon kind of thing?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. It's almost like an 18 insight would definitely say that. It's basically like, he knows where they are.
So these are
GPS.
Yeah, they're
Like-
cool to get it there. So I don't know whether they'll just sort of they glow blue when elephants are near.
I mean, I don't think your insight will get you that information, sadly. And there's currently no elephants near that you can see because they're not glowing, right?
Yes, exactly.
So they
So you're saying
could
they
be.
keep elephants away.
I mean,
Yes.
so far so good,
How
right?
much?
I'll give you $5 for it. Yep.
Don't say that. I'll try and sell them to folk.
So yeah, you have 3 big, chunky, spiky crystal things that at least
Ward off elephants.
ward off elephants, glow when elephants are nearby, and Ordak seems to know where they are. It's almost like this is how, when he's finished doing his reunions, you know, maybe this is how he'll know where the hell you guys are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you need 3 of them though is interesting, right?
I was going to say maybe it's to give out to others along the way. If we
Look at that! Look at that! Thinking with crystals.
I mean, that's Gregor saying that.
Also,
there.
just randos though, right? Like, oh, there's somebody. Do you want one of these awkward crystals?
Back in the bag.
Yeah, because they're not like easy to like carry individually or wear or fashion
Just
into anything that isn't like a pickaxe, right?
Just
So-
don't put them in the wrong cart.
Like a hammer or crowbar?
So thank you. We will use.
He kind of just nods politely.
Ordek, is there a way for us to use these to contact you? You know where they are. Can we contact you through these if we need help?
He kind of looks at them, like just like the. I assume you put them back on the back of the cart, the big heavy satchel, and he kind of just looks at them. And kind of looks at you, dear, and he says, and he kind of shrugs at first, and then just puts like his hand on your shoulder, and then you hear in your head, Adair, in time, possibly. He kind of just like smiles at you, like, you know, you've failed the competition, but you shouldn't give up the sport.
I got a medal of participation.
Yeah, it's the look he's got, you know, which is the I'm not going to count you out, buddy, right? But
So out of character, are we basically waiting for his download take?
no,
Are
you
we
aren't waiting for
him
anything.
to zip the file?
Nope.
But like, is that something we perhaps do once his?
Yeah, because like I think Ordak's just going to go about his daily business, right? After this scene, so depends how much time he's want to pass. But like, let's deal with that and have a think about it over the break, shall we? So we'll come back in 10 minutes or 10 past the 9, and I'll pop us on a mute just now. Hello all. Hello everybody. We're back from break. It's the Invasion Session 19 Part 2. Yes, that sounds right. It's the 9th of September 2020. I'm Ryan, the GM. Here are the players.
Hello, I'm Gregor. I play Adair. Damn it. I play Adair, who is an air genasi who used to be a bit of a rogue, but is going through all kinds of changes, but generally just suffers from headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and tonight I'll be playing Fleabite the Skaven. Still pretty terrible at everything, and aims to cause others headaches.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
Fuck
I'm
off.
Colin. I'll be playing Ranger, who is a sort of moldy priest. Dwarvish inclination in his religious beliefs.
Like Moldy Priest.
Aye.
Perfect. Mold. It's good. I like it. What class are you? Moldy? So good. My marathons of Friday night dinner continue. I'm almost out of episodes and I'm deeply saddened by this. What a gem of a find that was. But anyway, so yeah, yous were handed a bunch of crystals and then yous wanted to go about your business, I guess, like...
Yeah, just pack up the cart, make sure we've got water and food, and yeah, just head off in the way we were going, I guess would be the... Or, well, actually, no, we should probably ask Ordak, because he does travel, so I'm assuming he might know the lay of the land nearby, like, roughly.
Yeah, but like, if he knew where the dragon egg was, he would just teleport to it, since you know he can teleport.
But he might know, like, roughly, like, where a nearest town is, or...
He does, yeah. He came from it.
Ah. What about the next town in this direction that we're traveling?
I mean, yeah, you'd maybe need to ask him, yeah.
Can I?
Don't know, do you want to go look for him?
Oh, is he not still just there, or did he already leave?
No, like, he went about his business.
Ordak, before you leave, look, we are going to be traveling this way. Do you know of any towns, villages this way where we can maybe stop off and get information?
He kind of like narrows his eyes at you and then puts his hand on your shoulder.
Oh, not again.
And just kind of like says to you vocally, telepathically,
Aye.
My travelling has been limited to the surroundings of this encampment while I search for the other Zerai. Unfortunately, I haven't been willing to leave the vicinity too greatly unattended in its current state. While I trust in the capabilities of our Anarch, I would hate to see more losses that could be avoided if I were absent for too long.
I understand. I'm sorry for troubling you.
No trouble. And nods gently. And then again goes to leave.
Yep, no, that's fine. I will then probably turn to Vagnar. And, hey, Vignir, where are you from? Which area? Do you by chance know where we are going?
Afraid I'm from rather far away.
Southeast, I guess, if you wanted to say something
Yeah,
specific. I mean, the only thing is, though, only really, like, Vanguard knows where he is. Because you were teleported here from somewhere else. So, like,
That's true.
Like...
Do I roll, like, history to see if I'd have an idea of what else might be in there? Or
There's a question.
what else could I roll for survival.
Well,
No, that's
so survival is like navigating, right? Whereas, yeah, like you could roll history.
general knowledge.
I was gonna say like you could roll history, but again, it depends. Like, what history would you know from up here, right? Like,
It might even just be as much as like a brief synopsis of what cities there were, you know?
because there isn't much in the way of cities until people join the game and make cities in those places. So, sadly, not really. There isn't really much civilization up this way. The biggest thing is like you very possibly could still be in the lands of the Valeria, right? Which is all under like Von Rune's control. So nobody would settle there, right? Based on how weird he is. Also, keep in mind something I wanted to bring up before the break, but I totally forgot. Because we're talking a lot about, obviously, like Adair's wish being that he gets to become ruler of Runestad, but like, obviously the threat of the enemy destroying everything. Runestad isn't suffering, remember?
That's why I was like, that's a good place to roll.
So, yeah, that's very safe,
Pet.
right?
It's the aspect it's controlled by like robots, like armored men that we believe Richter controls.
Oh, the lawsuits were tingling.
But yeah, we don't know if Richter would leave said robots for us to control to keep the city safe. So maybe it is best just to, hey, let's see if we can control a dragon. Because a dragon's cooler than just a boring, quiet city. Also, the people there were kind of stuck up. I didn't like it.
Haranen was alright.
Yeah, well, Thea likes Haranen. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, as we mentioned before, that there were reasons for that, hung, drawn, and quartered.
No, but I was going to say, Wagner, you're local. You weren't warped here.
Well, I've been wandering for quite some time.
What has made you wander the woods?
Sorts of. I came. Well, encouraged to find
Sorry,
the danger.
you were encouraged to search.
Yes,
Who
Yes.
encourage?
the Great Father.
What is this?
Well, he is the father of the gods.
Oh, of course, naturally.
I was sent to one of his shrines, a lonely place, and he spoke with me and informed me of a way I could be more useful, a way I could act, do his work, seek out.
New worlds,
Revenge.
new civilization. Oh, sorry.
Seek out and intervene against this danger from beyond this thing that has place in the natural cycle.
And tell me, your father, is he able to help you with this mission?
Of course, I would never have been far if he weren't.
So is he maybe able to help us in finding where we need to be going?
Oh. Ask him, but
I mean, does it hurt to ask him?
of course not. And ask him I will. You have to understand, of course. Ask gods. Many people do ask gods a lot of things all the time.
Yes, but he
Most
is
of
your
the time,
father.
The great father, not my great.
You say he is your great father. That means he is your great dad. That means you can just ask your dad, no?
No, we're not Not like that.
Oh.
You may have misunderstood.
I'm not one that knows how the feathers work.
He is the father of all. Or so our telling goes. Every
Wait.
people have their own story.
He is my father?
Oh, I don't know who your father is, at least.
Neither do I.
And I certainly know he's not my father in the literal sense. He's the father of all things.
You are an interesting person, Wagner.
You'll find you go through this world that most people some version of the same story. However different they may seem. Being that gives life all.
Adair just kind of nods and just goes, as getting the cart ready with 2 horses.
Nice.
You're putting them before the cart, yes?
Well, I was contemplating maybe one horse lead, pulled the cart, the other horse rest, being pulled by cart, and then when one gets tired, we swap them around.
I'm not entirely convinced of this, I must say.
Sorry, I do not do long distance travel until recently. Normally, I just live in city.
We'll manage just fine, I think. But after all, well, I think we're in the right area. Yeah, feels right. Makes sense.
Actually, Ryan, just out of game, are we allowed to see the world map and see roughly where we are, or would you rather figure out?
I was gonna say, like, it doesn't really make much difference because obviously Vanger kind of roughly knows where he is. So, like, as a party, you just kind of know. I'll just move the marker.
Where is it again? We're heading.
I can never remember.
That.
Yes.
That's one. Barris. That's terrible with names.
You do quite a journey.
And keep in mind, most people consider this place mythical. Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to find.
Yeah, like, again, the best way to phrase it would have been Elephant Wakanda. But obviously, you have empirical evidence that you met, a Baru.
We did. He disappeared, but we did meet him.
Yeah, so I'm seeing some. Yeah. These things. South. I have to imagine we're right after them. I know I've come far north. Across the ocean.
So you travel by the water as well?
Anyway, I can come.
Where is you from?
Possibly the area, but down by Crust. That way.
Down by
Crust.
Yet, I do not believe I've been there, but maybe one of the others has heard of this place.
Well, you can roll history if you want.
Sure, actually, why not?
We'll see if you know anything about it.
I mean, looking at the map, it's near Little Belmore.
I mean, it's where the dwarves live, right? Crust. It's a big home in the mountains. People generally don't go there. Like, people get to travel to Opal, which is the city next to Crust. That has like a big harbour. So that's like the trading city for Crust. And then you can travel from Opal to Crust if you're a dwarf.
So did Wagner travel from Crust to Opal to then sail in the sea?
I think we just decided to sort of come the other way.
Yeah, like Vanguard took probably the most like awkward path possible.
He's sort of conscious of the fact that when he visits far to the north, he's conscious of the fact that he's gone south to come north. He knows where he is roughly.
Plus,
Yeah, he didn't just like go loop, loop.
Because I was going to say, if you left at Opal, chances are your
Little
ship would
Bellamore,
have stopped at Little Bellamore for supplies.
the the likely scenario is that Vanger walked in a direction that felt right until a boat drifted past that he just used.
Yeah, probably something to that effect.
You know, very much conveniently. Oh, nobody seems to be using this boat that's already in motion. I guess I'll just step on.
Wait, was it our original boat?
No, that would have been funny.
That would have been great. He steps on it and there's Alvin's voice. And it's like,
Warning! Something Alvin said. Yeah. Sadly not. That'd been funny if like Thea's parking had meant it just sailed all the way south. Yep. What even are the currents on this weird planet?
actually, come to think, I don't think it was Thea that moored it. I think it was Alvin. So
That doesn't sound
and
right. Alvin doing any actual work? That doesn't
Exactly.
sound
that's when it floated away.
right. Mhm.
His
Yeah.
priority was the message instead of the mooring.
Yeah, I think that's mostly what he did. I feel like if it was anyone, Cognac would have just like jumped off with the anchor and fell into the water with it, then just slowly walked out.
With the anchor.
Yeah, and be like, oh,
Did that not happen?
I get.
Did he not like pull it into the?
I mean, because I think it was a big boat. No,
Yeah.
like,
I don't think it was one of those ones that could have been.
keep in mind, this isn't a canoe you were in.
Tried to.
Yeah, I feel like there was lots of talk of tying everybody to Cognac as he just walked through the water with a rope with all the party attached to it. If anything had happened to the
I can
boat.
see some problems with that idea.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But it was a while back.
It was discussed though. It wasn't necessarily a good idea, just an idea.
Just
But you, for like Vanger's journey, it was mostly just many moons ago, and lots of like walking and stopping and bumping into people and just mutterings, and yeah, it was like, we're not talking, oh, last week he got a message. We're talking he's been on this journey for quite a while, guys. Like compared to you guys.
3 years.
well, we've technically been at this for over a year.
No, like you got lost at sea, which should have only taken like maybe a week to cross, and you.
But the Little Bellamore was under siege for a year.
Yeah, but you know, Vanger's been doing this for longer. I think is the point we're making. He's been traveling longer than any of that. Like the invasion happened while he was traveling, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Because it was the invasion happened, then
It was sort
a
of-
year of siege for you guys, and then it was the ship showed up.
It was sort of vaguely warned.
Something
Didn't
bad is
necessarily
coming.
want specific, but I was given. Hey,
Yeah,
there.
something wicked this way comes. Go be part of it. Yeah.
Bye, prickly thummies.
Yeah. Do they?
Happily.
Good. So yeah,
So Ryan,
That's me.
here, the star.
yes.
You are here.
And where did Wagner land for him to travel to here?
Probably somewhere
So-
up there.
Yeah, like
Cool.
I was gonna say, to what end though? Because you're asking me a bunch of leading questions, and you're not asking me why.
Oh no, I'm just trying to get my bearings for what land he knows.
I don't. The thing is, so again, like Wenger tracking that isn't as important as where Wenger felt he needed to go, right? So,
Yeah,
like if
he's not a guy that has a detailed map.
he decided to walk in spirals because it felt right, he would have did that, right? Like, you
If you
know,
start going up this way, I bet you'll probably go. You know, this is familiar terrain. Yes, yes.
mhm.
And maybe no. Oh no, I've been this way, so let's not continue this way.
Mhm.
But he's not
Maybe,
going to be able to
yeah.
provide you with a roadmap. I'm
No,
afraid.
no, or just in case you were able to go, oh, I think I recognise this bit. Just for
Yeah,
my
I mean, potentially we could come to a landmark and
Mhm.
roll and find.
Like
yeah,
a
that could-
past shelter that he may have used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
could definitely be helpful.
A mossy cave, yeah.
some vandalism on a tree, like Wagner was here.
The Great Father Squad, yeah. The young team. Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, Vanguard's not going to be great in terms of navigation. I think Vanger is drawn to things.
I don't suppose it could be drawn to.
I mean, he is.
Are you drawn to Varus? Good. Let's go.
Just it might take him a while to get there.
Yeah. Can't be worse than.
That's debatable. Oh dear. So yeah, you've basically got Vanger shrugging, I guess, at the idea of knowing what way to go. Like because it's like a big, massive like range of mountains. Like you can probably like spot it for like when you get to clearings and such. You could probably see, like where theoretical Barris exists, right? So there is that. It's probably an easy thing to like wander towards, but whether or not that's the way in or the way to it is a completely different story.
You know it's the mountain range that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Easily. Yep. Because as soon as you get to any form of like clear visual, you'll see the mountains higher than the other stuff around it. It's like one of the highest points on the map, actually.
Actually, yeah. So for the journey, it's me, Fleabite, Wagner, and is Cognac.
Maybe Cognac. Well, who knows, right? Like, who knows? I'll narratively deal with that when I have to.
Cool. But yeah. So, Fleabite, Wagner, should we try and go via coastline, or should we try and just head towards where we believe is? What is best bet?
Fleabite, any opinions on as the party scout?
I mean, I think Fleabite, giving a good scratch.
Standard.
Yes,
we may go. Direct route. Is it not possible to go underground?
In need, we do not have ability to go under the ground, not for such long distance.
I don't think that there are many parts.
That is, the horses, they will not go under the ground, Fleabit.
Not walk kicking, no. But there are always tunnels, yes.
Is maybe best stay to the higher ground. Is possibly better on the high ground. I hear this from people.
From Wan in particular.
If we head north till we reach the coast. Yes. So we head north, then follow the coast and land.
Well, Ryan, can I go out see where we are? Can we see the mountain range in the distance, or is it too far away for the visual eye?
It's just overgrown. Like this place is like wild.
We're not up high just now, no.
Nope.
Nah.
No, you're kind of almost in a weird kind of valley. It's probably why they've settled here, right? For some kind of protection. Because why would they have a camp that was easily spottable?
Yeah, no, totally get
it. So they're kind of, I mean, I don't want to use the term in the shadow of the mountain of Mount Valeria, but like, they're definitely nestled. Nestled. So yes, they're fairly secluded. So you'd need to like travel, probably like technically you'd probably need to go a bit west and then north, to like get out of the valley, and then if you can see the shape of the map, like there's like a break in that hilly area. So go a tiny bit west, and then exactly, and then like you're kind of almost at coast, right? So that's maybe only going to take a couple of days. Like I say days and a couple because horse and cart, but like awkward terrain. But like you could probably get there in a couple of days. 5 unfortunately and 3 fortunately.
So we were saying earlier about like the lack of cities in here. If Paris is like a sort of fairly legendary place, Could I roll history to see if I have an idea of where I think it is?
No, legendary is wrong. Mythical is correct. Because if you asked somebody on the street where Barris is, they'd laugh at you and walk away
Yeah,
because
but, like,
they think it's made up. Like
right,
most
but,
people
like,
think Barris.
Avalon, there is a physical place where it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Even though it
so
doesn't
yeah.
exist.
But would that be? Oh yeah, history. We'll go for history. Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, if this is a place that is myth, but like there will be somewhere that the myth is supposed to be set, so I might have
Yeah.
heard of that. It's a 5. It's not good.
I think we've learned with your +4 to history, you should never roll history.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a 1 in 20 chance.
Yeah. Your guys obviously like got other things to do because I'm in the moment. Okay, leave me alone. Scenario.
Yeah, he just has no idea.
Well, yeah, I think it is definitely a case of you like the idea of a mythical city full of like high-tech elephants is not important to Vanguard in any way.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just isn't. And the idea that some people don't believe it, great. It's now less important to you. So I think maybe that's just like I think that's the angle we take on the fail as opposed to anything else. It's just you probably just haven't given a fuck about it before. Like not to say that the dwarfs don't have a book on it, like myths of the Baru,
Yeah.
right? But like it's something you would have sat aside to get to another
I
book.
personally haven't. Yeah, it's not my area, man. Okay.
Yeah, but I believe Wagner has the right idea. We'll head coastal, and then we'll head out of here, the easiest terrain with the car. Head north-ish to the hit coast, and then head sort of northeast, I guess.
You're gonna just basically follow that coastline around until, like, are you gonna end up?
And-
Are you gonna loop right around the circle of that kind of like inlet?
I would,
Mhm.
as soon as we can sort of see the mountain range,
Mhm.
in the distance, that's our target.
Okay. You probably don't want to go to the coast end to see the mountain range. You probably want to go up, like, see the. Annoyingly, climbing isn't going to be easy with a horse and cart, sadly. But like, you probably want to get up higher, like above the tree line. To be honest, like you're going to go lower to get to the coast.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Is there?
Because like,
Hmm.
see if I just randomly doodle, right? So ideally, you want to go like that way, right?
Yeah.
So you want to go that way, but then you're going to be kind of blocked by like all of this.
Land, yeah.
Like that part's
So
particularly
what do you
high.
get, like round the coast here, right? Like this sort of area.
Yeah, like I'd say, like like maybe if you get to like the like let's say like somewhere like that.
hmm
Sure.
That's because we head direct north, and then from there we could maybe scout the land, maybe meet people or talk.
So like you'd need to kind of go the way I drew out of that place and then circle round to that like that. That makes sense. So you just follow the
Yeah.
coast around and then get to there. Yeah, that could be done.
I would say that'd be because we don't really know where we're going, and we don't have a map or anything. So yeah, I'm happy with that if the others are.
And at least you'd get to seawater and then you could try and boil it so that it was drinkable, right? And it would keep your supplies going.
Not as sea like.
So, right? It's alright.
As long as it rains, we should be all right for water.
I mean, I've literally just said if you go to the coast and then boil the water,
I
you'll
know.
be fine. Like, that's literally the drinking water conversation, but yeah.
How do I delete my drawing? Sorry, I've never
It's okay.
doodled before.
I'll get it.
Cool. Cheers. There we go.
I'll leave the red line. Do you want that left for now? Or you just want.
Yeah, why not? The red lines, they give it a certain
Oh dear.
juge, a certain
Je ne sais quoi.
je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
The red line.
Je ne sais quoi.
So. Right. Do you do anything before you set off then? Because you've stocked the cart up, you've doubled up the horsepower, and what now?
All good. Say our farewells to Thea and Hieronyman.
It's probably very heartfelt. Let's
Um,
face
I
it.
probably not at them briefly.
Offer them a mouth. Yeah.
Heal a couple of so the worse off people.
Mhm.
Just think, I can spare a moment
Yeah. Right.
because obviously, like if we're talking about we're going to need like long-term stuff, and I can't do that and go in this mission. So, but I'm here today to sort of, administer a bit of healing while I have a bit of time waiting for them. Their epic goodbye.
Their awkward hug. Yeah.
As I try and pinch something from Hiranen.
It's like, what did this horse boy have? His
He
gun.
had that fine coat and fine trousers. I want the coat.
You leave the boy with his fancy clothes, okay? Those were
I
bought
like
from.
fancy nuts. I can't help it.
Oh dear, poor boy. He is. Poor boy.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, but he knows they're his.
Only for now.
Mhm.
One day, I'll be back.
Sure.
Eh,
Yeah.
maybe not.
So the joys, right? The absolute joys. I need to work out some maths. You know how much I love that.
Some-
Give me 2 seconds, I'll let you know what I think of maths is. Interesting.
I'm not a fan.
Hmm.
I am a man. Fine. Remember Linkara?
No, actually.
He was in the same like website as like the Nostalgia Critic.
Oh no, I know Nostalgia Critic. I loved that guy back in the day.
Linkara had he was also a nerd in a hat. It was called Pop the Fourth Wall.
Okay. I like it.
It was a catchy jingle. Wasn't a good jingle, but it was catchy. And it's like there's a reference to a Superman comic he reviewed early on, included in the lyrics. He has a man punch. It's just because there's this famous like panel of Superman punching Hitler, shouting, "I am a man."
Actually, the minute you mention it, I do remember Nostalgia Critic talking about Linkara.
Yeah.
I never watched his stuff because I never really got into comics. But no, that randomly rang a bell. That was weird.
He has a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? Yeah, no, Linkara was alright, actually. Very much of his time, sort of 2000s. For a better time.
That's when I watched it, like 2007,
Make
8?
the oddities the present again.
No.
Oh dear.
Make emo great again.
I stand by that, right? I stand by that purely
Emo is
because
still
like
great, right?
there's no alternative culture of any kind at the moment.
No, because society is too fragmentary.
Mhm.
It's just can't have outside the mainstream. There really isn't room for cultures to get big anymore.
What do you mean?
Even like we'll never have another Beatles, right? No matter
Yeah.
how huge an artist is now, they can't be the biggest artist for everyone because
There's too
I
much.
don't know what's in the charts now, right?
It's- There isn't really a chart anymore because
Yeah.
it's downloadable. It's worldwide. No one really downloads. They just
so you're saying
listen.
it's Pitbull.
Hmm.
Wait, what now?
Saying it's Pitbull worldwide. It was a
Mr. Worldwide.
so
Yeah.
worldwide. It was the thing. I was doing a bit. Don't worry.
So I'm very old compared to you. So let's go with that. I'm
Sure.
Very, very old.
I'm sorry, I'm old.
I might be turning 36 this month, but I'm older than that. Like
On the inside.
on our way. Yeah.
Mhm.
My hobbies
Something like
concluded of
adventure.
fencing and archery. My friends were into playing Sega and Nintendo. I was doing art.
It's pronounced Sega.
Sega.
Oh, that's so dumb. I love it.
I'm a gallery assistant. Loves Warhammer. You're not gonna. Well, you might out nerd me, but it will be tough.
No, I don't think I can out nerd that.
I mean, we're
Like, yeah,
we're
I
playing
get it,
D&D.
but- I mean, yes, fair point. D&D is actually it's come about as mainstream as something like that can be in the present era.
Mhm.
Right? You can like go such and such the voice actor people streams that get fucked.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I can't do that. I cannot listen to those shows. I mean, I get they're big, they're good at what they're doing, but I don't have 4 hours to spare to listen to that.
Fair.
I just don't. I can't invest. It's so hard. Other people's RPGs. not interesting to me.
So anyone
Yeah.
listening, by the way, to my game just now, please stay. Don't listen to these
No,
bastards.
listen to me. Why would you watch RP? Dreadful.
Join us. Join us. Don't listen. Join us.
I mean, yeah, there's like at least 3 slots, right? At least.
Exactly.
Um,
You know,
Jedi weapon.
first come, first serve.
so back in the game that we're playing though,
How's
No.
the math going?
right, my maths worked out ages ago, and then you just kept
Oh.
talking.
You're welcome.
That's fine. I enjoyed my latte. And what are you talking about on the travelling then? How does that go? Is there anything specific that comes up? Like, is there any like getting to know each other chats? Like,
Yeah, well, my first priority is my head is like splitting. You know, I doubt I could even focus my eyes to drive. So I, if possible, would like to lie down in the back of the cart and just rest my head because it's
I'll take the first turn then.
yeah. Do you want to give me some animal handling? We'll see how that goes.
Animal handling or animal.
That's reasonable. Yeah. Like, it's not great. It's maybe like
Not the most difficult.
the animals have been through some shit already, right? They've lived a brief, painful life, and like, you know, they understand what it is to fall,
Obviously, an animal.
and the idea that there's 2 of them strapped together is maybe slightly more comforting for them, right? But maybe that makes it a bit awkward to like drive, as it were.
I was going to say, do they have blinders on or
I mean,
you know?
They're blinded by the light.
yes, blinded, I think is the correct term. But yes, you make fairly good progress. I'd say, like, yeah. I obviously, unless there's something to be done besides resting, you'll just rotate this through, I assume.
Absolutely. Do you want
Yeah.
us all to just roll animal handling then?
Sure, why not? Just like, give.
Yeah,
I've had one.
Taylor we looked at.
I was gonna say I've had one from Vanguard. Like, give me one from Adair and one from Fleabite, as you all shared the.
Oh God,
Oh no.
my head is still killing me.
Yeah, Fleabite. We got.
As a party, do we really trust Fleabite unsupervised?
We never said unsupervised. Just you're in charge of them at that
Charge.
point.
I
One person drives, one person
So,
sits
like,
next to a shotgun.
Doing
one person.
light activity versus controlling 2 horses is different. So you can sit next to somebody controlling 2 horses and judge them, and that's light activity.
I almost feel like the Fleabite should have disadvantage or something, and perhaps does being small affect that?
No,
Holding reins.
no. Like, if you want, you can not roll animal handling, and you can just roll intimidate if you'd prefer.
Scream at horse.
Because I can tell you that'll add time if you want
Yeah.
to the journey.
Well, actually, to be fair, Fleabite, do you want to try and lead the horses, or should it just be up to me and Wagner?
I I feel like you'll do better if if the the horses. Probably
But how is this conveyed though in character? This is a lot of dissection as players.
Wagner, look, I've known Fleabit for a long time. It's probably best that he just stay on guard, watches out, rest when he can, but maybe not leave him in charge of horses. Look, he is good friend, but he is also the Fleabit.
Aye.
That he might.
Trustworthy.
Didn't Fleabit roll better than Adair at animal handling the first time they were?
Oh God,
Anyway, yeah.
No, we trust the Fleabit. The Fleabit is a good friend. He might be different in many ways, but who is not? But when it comes to the horses, he may try to maybe bite tail instead of lead.
Or just like stand on like 1 foot on each of their heads and just point where he wants them to go.
Oh God, I want to do that now.
I mean, that's what he used to do to like Lauda.
Yeah.
I don't mind taking the reins a bit more, but
He
I'll
will.
be needing my water skin back.
Oh, did you not get? Wait, have we-
I don't know where we're standing in relation to each other now, but let's just say a thumb over my shoulder. Young Fleabite here seems to have pocketed.
Flibbit, give him the water skin. Have you refilled the water skin before leaving?
It is empty, not watering, no use to beard thing.
Flibbit, you know he needs his water skin. It's good to let him carry the water as well as you.
We'll fill it up next opportunity.
Da. But Flibbit,
Yes,
remember
next
to give him.
opportunity.
What was it Fleabite said there?
Yes, next opportunity.
Imagine you're clutching it.
I don't trust
Oh
that.
yeah, big.
It's okay. No, Flibbit, he's a friend. He will totally remember to fill up the water skin. Next opportunity.
Nods in confidence.
Da.
So, hello, Scott. This is We Killed Her is in the chat. Hello. So, yes.
What is that he posted?
It's a little person looking in a window. Yeah.
No.
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 So, if it's just the two of you, it might take a bit longer in the rotations, right, to get through.
Well, Fleabite could maybe run off like ahead and make sure we're going the right way, kind of stuff, like scout for us.
Sure.
Because we aren't great with the horses, so Fleabite could make sure we're heading a wise way for the horses.
A wise way, or to the biggest shiny thing. Yeah.
I trust Fleabite. Oh, I shouldn't trust Fleabite.
Oh, so good. We're not hearing you if you're speaking, Alexander.
You just need to tell Fleabite that the biggest shiny thing is where we're going.
Yeah. Fleabite, the big shiny thing is where the dragon egg is. Green shiny things are next to dragon egg. We must get to dragon egg to get green shiny things.
Do you want to roll, like, deception? You should be quite good at that, right?
You'd think. Let me just double check. Where the heck?
You'll probably get advantage because you mentioned green shiny things.
Thank you, sir. I mean, it should be alright. Wait.
Do you want to roll insight, Fleabite? And do you want disadvantage because it's green shiny things were mentioned?
Insight, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I think Fleabite's been lied to too many times by too many people and beat up in too many alleyways to take people at their word.
No!
But, like, you know, like, he does believe you enough, right? Because you got a 22, but that's a 17, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is just the case of Fleabite has been promised green shiny things by a lot of people and doesn't have a lot of green shiny things.
But he's never been promised by me.
I mean, that may be true in this instance, which is why the discrepancy of 5.
I bet wager I can do it faster than blue wind thing.
Here's thought, Fleabite. How about you hold breath and I hold breath, and first to breathe again is loser. I like this as a bet.
Okay, I'll just make Alexander's new character now, shall I? Well, Fleabite.
Here's thought, Fleabite. How about you hold breath, I hold breath. First person to inhale is loser. Or are you scared of little bet of holding breath?
I think Fleabite would on.
I'd offer you to roll insight if you were that suspicious, but you've used a 20 and a 17 on that already, so I wonder how good a third. But I mean, you could give it a go if you want to be suspicious of him, because he is obviously.
He's suspicious, yeah. I
And
don't know why.
yeah, wonder why Adair would be shifty as fuck.
Language, Ryan.
Yeah, language Ryan.
Launchweg.
Igu.
Yep,
Yep.
that's more like it.
That's what we thought. Yep. Hmm.
Yes,
Flea beat. You're always judge.
For how many copper?
Even I am good for. Oh, actually, how much?
Let me check my purse.
You want to go copper? Or do you want to go silver or gold?
What about bet wager for who to go scouting? If Fleabite wins, Fleabite gets to sleep in cart. If Blue Windthing wins, Blue Windthing must also manage horses and do scouting.
Niet, this flea beat, I will tell you now, you are much better at the scouting than me. And it makes more sense for me to be here on cart than going up ahead. You are by far more slicked in the way of the world versus me.
But Fleabite also like sleep in cars.
Yeah, you will get time to sleep in the cart, but this is not point of wager. Wager is for the monies. I will challenge you to maybe not a copper piece, but how about 3 silver piece? And I will pull out 3 silver piece from my wallet or purse or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And be like, skadoosh.
Your money prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Fleabite even have 3 silver?
Not in silver form.
That's fine. I guess said magic money can exist in this game too. It's just too convenient. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just
I
too.
forgot you did that.
Yeah.
So far, I've kind of been taking it that Fleabite values coppers more.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't auto tap, right? So.
So it's like,
Oh,
why have billions when you can have millions?
Yeah. And you get more millions than billions for the same amount.
Oh wait, after like a year and a bit of knowing Fleabite, do I know this about him?
I don't know.
I
That's
think
yeah.
that would be fairly obvious, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I will take my 3 silver and do the tap thing to turn them into coppers
So
in my hand.
So 30 copper.
So 30 copper appears in my hand. To the point Adair's kind of like, oh, I cannot quite hold this much copper. But you know, this is what I have.
Yeah, roll a d6 for me, Adair.
A d6.
Mm-hmm.
You see
What's-
nothing?
3 coppers fall just as Fleabite's eyes follow them. Just because of the pile that's just appeared in your hands.
That's fair. I mean, I know they're there,
Mhm.
and I kind of look and I'm like, look, you see, I have all these copper. Do you wish to challenge to this? I mean, it is not too difficult to hold breath, no? It's just up to who is more stamina.
I love the idea that because Alexander like misclicked instead of opening the spell, I love the idea that the mage hand just appears because it's just that obvious in Fleabite's mind what he wants to do. The magic is just there. Like no self-control. Isn't it great? It doesn't rely on your charisma score, this one.
Yeah, exactly.
This was Paizo, it would only barely reach as far as your charisma score or something like that.
Charis.
Charisma.
So, Fleabit, do you challenge? Do you take up my challenge of the dare of the holding breath?
By the way, while like I'm just, at the reins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're at the reins.
Yeah, okay.
We want him to scout, but now we've gone into this stupid dare thing. But he
We're
always.
trying to get an idea of like what exactly is going on as you do this, because
I should I will.
I was thinking that it would be like that kind of.
I will whisper to Wagner. He constantly challenged me to something or other. This time I choose the challenge instead. And hopefully he will take challenge and, well, we will see what we will see. But if...
I presume all like verbal components you have to breathe to do.
You have to speak, right? And sadly, speaking involves air moving.
No, this is challenge to just hold the breath. I bet you I can hold breath longer than you, Fleabit.
And to save time later, I presume that silent image, even though it's an invocation, it still has to go through verbal.
Yeah, invocation is just how you have it, but it's still a spell. So it doesn't stop it being a spell. So if it still has all its components, unless it tells you otherwise, they're all still applicable. Yeah. So you're hoping you could just have your silent image not breathe?
There's to be no tricks for it. There is no honor in cheating. You cannot use magic to...
This is the perfect time to show my flaw. Is I'd rather kill someone in their sleep than fight fair.
That's a fair flaw.
It's a very Fleabit flaw.
Yeah. I mean, Fleabit, if you are too scared to hold breath, is fine. We will not do that. We will just continue on way, and it's best that you scout ahead. Da?
Yeah. Okay. I think Fleabit would panic in his eyes.
I mean, clearly you are not interested in so much copper.
Poor Fleabit.
This is sleep nap on move cart.
We are already on way. We are moving on cart.
But if no scout, more sleep nap.
Well, if no scout, then we do not move very quickly. We must take time.
And more sleep nap.
Yet, if you are trying to sleep so much, we are going to not get far very, 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 very slowly. Wagner, do you agree with not doing scouting?
Well, I suppose if he's got to keep ahead of the horse, that doesn't mean we've got to keep the horses slow. If he keeps an eye out well enough, well, perhaps no scouts ahead a little if we find a good place to stop. I think
Yeah, Fleabit is best for party if you do scout when you can. But what about all this copper? If you are too scared, this is fine. We will not bring up again.
No. Skaven always best. Skaven win any bet wager.
Da, I figured this is what you're wanting. You just wish to win. So, let us hold breath and see who's first to break.
Okay, so before it goes all terribly wrong, when Fleabite tries to take a really big inhale, and he tried to cast a spell with that, is that not going to go?
I guess magic.
think the idea that if Vanger is in like the front, like let's say it's like a seat that can sit 2 people in the front of the cart, right? If it's Vanger at the left and then Adair at the right, and Vanger's got the reins, and you're like just standing, holding on to like the little wall that they're backleaning against, right? For this conversation to mostly have taken place, the back and forth of why aren't you out scouting and why are you standing in the cart? I feel like it's going to be pretty obvious if you cast a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it being obvious or not was not necessarily.
That's all I'm going to say, because you would be casting the spell, then taking in the breath. Right?
Okay. So you can't cast a spell on the inhale.
Alright, tell you what, can you say...
Are there any rules saying
Wait. So, can you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious while inhaling for me, please, Alexander?
So I can whistle while inhaling.
That doesn't count.
Nope. Whistling is not the verbal component for a spell, sadly.
And I'm also not capable of doing any magic.
But we're not talking about magic, we're talking about speaking while inhaling. Because, I mean... Do I give it a go?
It can be done.
But are you taking in air? I think the answer is no.
Yeah. Oh, well, I did actually a really big exhale after that, but...
So, I mean, it's going to be a con save, I think, regardless, right? So, whatever you're going to do, you're going to be using the spells as we know they work, and then, if you wish to take an intake of breath, you can do so. Whether or not Adair's going to care if you're trying to mask it or not is another story.
I mean, I would pay attention to what Fleabite's doing because he's been challenging me for donkey's days. So, yeah, if he's trying to do magic and I've already said no magic, then, yeah, he forfeits his copper.
I presume there is no... No, I'll skip that.
Okay.
I think as the challenge sort of begins, then
Like,
You've really tortured Fleabite here, by the way.
I know, I didn't realise it would be this tough.
I hope you realise how much Skaven mean to Alexander.
I know. I don't know how much copper means to Alexander.
To be fair, copper is very valuable, though.
It's true. People steal it from buildings all the time.
So actually just Alexander every time.
He's the biggest copper thief throughout Britain.
In his many years.
No,
Okay, well, I think
never heard of copper.
and we've spent so long doing it. I kind of have to now just try and cast
Yes.
Mage Hand
Oh,
while
God.
or just before taking a big intake of breath.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you cast Mage Hand. Yep. A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. Where do you want this to be, Fleabite?
Yeah, but I hear this.
Oh, I mean, like, that's besides the point there. Where do you want the Mage Hand to appear? Within 30 feet of you, buddy.
Can it be like whichever way above Adair?
Sure. Yeah, can be above it there.
Trying to be a bit outside of his field of view.
Just like behind his head, basically.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Adair, do you want to roll Arcana, I guess, if you want to, like, identify the spell? I think the difficulty will be 11. There you go. Yep. Somehow, you just somehow are able to understand the magical, mystical bullshit through some of the changes you're going through. and yeah, like you kind of know roughly the effects of the spell. You don't necessarily know where the mage hand is, but like you definitely know.
Yeah, my head quickly dashes left, right, looking around behind me. Then I would start looking up, and then what is that? As I look to Fleabite.
I thought the mage hand can be invisible, but
Oh, is it actually invisible? Sorry.
no, it must be a different thing.
So I think rogues get something that they can do with mage hand. Arcane trickster rogues think it can be invisible for them. I think. But this is rogue knowledge, and I'm not big on rogues, despite having
It doesn't
two of
say,
you.
so it can't be there.
I think they get a fancy mage hand. It's just spectral,
Not-
is what it's described as.
Uh,
I mean, it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything at the moment.
Nothing but a wisp of cloud.
Yes.
Are we on a moving cart?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I believe we are, because backwards at the range. Yeah,
I mean,
we're moving.
physically, yes. Progress-wise, though,
in many ways, this game is like a movie car
yes.
in that it's
Mhm. So,
So I'm aware of this hand. I now start tapping my coins, turning them back into silver. So as I have more control over what's in my hand.
okay, so you've got what, 2 silver and 7 copper.
Yes, because I lost some.
You lost
so
3.
just-
You dropped 3. You didn't lose it.
Also
You just
makes-
dropped. Also makes what?
Well, if the cart is moving, then it could be that they
Yeah, possibly gone. Yep.
How many silvers in a copper again? Sorry.
It's
Or
factors.
how many?
It's factors of 10. So 10 copper make a silver, 10 silver make a gold, 10 gold make a platinum. Yup.
Sorry.
It's okay. I remember in Callum's game, he tried to like change the maths of all that. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you even consider that? 10 half silvers make a sand dollar, and 10 sand dollars, depending on the cycle you're in, is worth at least 4 copper. But that's variable depending on the rates. And you're like, why? Why isn't it just factors of 10? Like the book wants. Oh dear. But yeah,
So,
ultimately, are we gonna have right? So, are we,
Yeah.
how is this bet playing
how
out?
are we doing this? Yeah.
You tell me. You're the one.
Well, I would
then
just
take
say,
his big breath.
yeah. So we just inhale, and the first one to exhale.
Sorry.
Like to.
While you're looking around, are you gonna inhale? Because obviously, Fleabite's already inhaled.
Well, I would inhale at the same time as him.
Cool.
Sorry.
And then you've looked around and spotted the hand.
I would then look at Fleabite and I would gesture in a certain way where, like, maybe the tallest finger of my hand would be directed at.
That's
Fleabite.
That's a really weird phrase. The tallest finger of my hand. Okay, so
Doing
like-
my best not to
like
swear.
so the middle finger.
This is like when it censors someone's
Yes.
mouth.
The longest finger of my hand was gestured
No, you
off.
said tallest.
tallest.
Yeah, interestingly, that's what
Yeah, freakish hands.
Yeah, Kirasi has different fingers.
The pinky, the noble finger, the tallest of them all.
all the thing.
Oh my god. Anyway, I was almost
so
gonna
we-
say the first finger was the deep, and then I just thought, you know what? No, it's just not.
Wow, so I hear. First or second.
Yep. Carry on.
Counting thumbs, of course.
No.
Don't be stupid.
Supposable thumbs, yes, but actual thumbs, no.
So how do we do this? Like, I've never actually played like a daring game. Or
Okay. So, I feel like you're gonna paste in why you're cheating, right? Ultimately, Adair, and then we'll have Fleabite roll a con save.
What? I'm not cheating.
So paste in.
Also, yeah.
Yep.
Give me a
Paste,
minute.
paste
Go
it.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. And then Fleabite,
There you go.
give me your con save.
I guess. Yeah, I presumed he had something like that. The wording on that is actually quite interesting. While you are not incapacitated.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be worse than that.
No, I like it because indefinitely such an ill-defined word as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like, so for an unknown amount of time, like, yes.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it was an obvious one for me, but
Yeah, it's the same as how Cognac has the can hold his breath for an hour exactly.
Yeah.
Never an hour and a minute, or like an hour and a couple of seconds, but specifically exactly 1 hour. Which I love about this, like how everybody knows what 30 feet away is exactly in this game. Yep.
Levi's lost us.
Yeah, we're still here. I'm assuming. Hello.
I don't know why I answered.
Yeah, I assume you can both still hear me, so.
Yeah, no, his little thing going.
So that's an interesting phrase. Poor Alexander. So let's tell him discon. Oh, that's not how you spell disconnect. Disconnect and
Please do it.
rejoin.
Disco.
He's back.
Is he?
Yes.
Yay! So, yeah. Anyway, so.
Con save.
Yep. And then whatever it is that Fleabite wants to do to Adair.
What do you mean? It's an honest bet. He's not allowed to do anything. That's cheating.
No, I think you said no magic. That was it.
Yeah. It's a bet between gentlemen and rat.
And where do you fit in?
Somewhere in the middle.
So, Fleabite,
Halfway point.
do I want to know what you're up to? Is there another
So
plan?
I guess, ultimately, I think Fleabite probably holds out fairly well, given that.
Yeah, that's that's pretty good. Yeah, like considering like
Whatever.
a hard check is 15, right? So like that's pretty good. Yeah.
And as soon as he realizes that he is about to probably lose, would try and just have the mage hand like poke the back.
Okay, so you're gonna try and like prod him enough to try and make him like take a breath,
Basically, yeah.
right?
Like, if it was a normal person, then
Yeah.
it would just be like more of like the movement and the shake to hurt.
Okay, so
But I'm guessing it's probably not enough
No,
to actually stop.
so it's gonna be we'll use your spell save DC, right? Because that's a good number. Do you want to put in your DC and what the number is? Just type it in chat so he's got something to roll against. And I guess it's going to be a con save, right? To maintain this,
Sure.
right? Because it's about like if somebody it's like if somebody jabs you in the side, you know. I guess it's about having, you know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
Yeah, because it's not like the minute if I got jabbed and I didn't know who it was, I'd be like, "What the hell?" And that might make me talk. So that technically would break my breathing. So
Yeah, I feel like it's just enough like a physical like reaction, muscle spasm and such. Yeah.
oh come on!
Oh, no.
Are you kidding? I can breathe.
Oh. We let it all be dice as well, guys. We let it all be dice.
I'm pulling out a real dice. I'm checking a real dice. I'm literally pulling out some of my favorite dice.
Imagine they rolled worse.
I just rolled.
Click.
I just rolled a 19 on a real.
So
Real dice.
So that would have
Much
been a 22 then.
Yep.
Oh well.
Real dice, so much more fun.
Real dice do it better. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for the love of. Can I use my inspiration? I'm not allowed. It's too
No.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I will accept it.
Now,
But I knew he was cheating. I knew his.
yeah, I was gonna say
mage hand
counterpoint. Yeah, like you know, like it is technically cheating. Yeah.
Can I roll with advantage? Like, can I roll again? Because I knew
No.
the hand was there. Oh, come on.
No. Knowing it's there and stopping yourself spasm isn't the same. Excuse me. I just love the fact that you managed to roll under a 10.
I know,
Yes.
right? And that's with a +3. Aha.
Also, I was expecting it to be a 9 you had to beat, so he's obviously got way more powerful than I could ever have imagined Fleabite being.
Yes. Unlimited power.
Unlimited warpstone.
I just can't believe
I love
that's
it.
Like,
It's the best thing ever for somebody that can indefinitely hold their breath with
hold their
Laird.
breath.
Yes.
Yep. I was like, he's been challenging me for months, technically,
Mhm.
to do a bet. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put a bet on myself. Hold your breath.
Mhm. So good.
And this happens.
I love though that like as you go to take a breath though he casts Mage Hand, so it's like up to you to speak at that point, in which case you can't because you're holding your breath.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was being honourable.
Against Fleabite.
Sorry, this is the rogue saying this to Fleabite.
Right, we're both technically rogues.
I mean, I feel Skaven is what Fleabite is, like fully,
Yeah.
and like you know, I feel like Adair has introduced himself as a bit of a rogue every single time.
I don't know how else to introduce him.
Yeah, right. Like that's fair. You're probably quite roguish, right? In general,
Yeah,
personality-wise. So yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love it.
okay. So I have lost my silver and
Although,
no.
does tech like, are you actually paying up? That's the.
I mean, technically that was cheating, which I did say was a veto moment. So
Well, have that reaction in the game, then, right? Like, so let's cut back into the narrative, and like you've just been jabbed in the side, and you obviously gasp for a breath.
Niet.
Yeah.
No, niet. Flip it. We said no cheating on the dare. You have poked me with the floating hand. I know it was you because I heard you. This is not on.
Can Fleabite still just be in the last like seconds of his breath? Just like doing his like victory, hands in the air, still holding his breath for like the last few seconds.
That's what I heard. No cheating on the deer.
No flip it. No cheating on me. You're not allowed to cheat on me.
Oh dear.
Bit is null and voided.
And then I think just as the very last breath escapes, it's like, take a big inhale and just be like, Fleabite always wins. Yes.
Flip it. Before you go scouting ahead, because you now need to do this, you can go get the copper I drop off cart. It's back about 20 mile now. Go get, and then come back.
I was expecting you just to throw all the copper over the side.
No, I already changed it back into silver, but I did drop 3 copper pieces, so...
Yeah. You got 2 silver back and 7 copper is what you got back, and there's
Yeah.
3 coins somewhere in the jungle behind you. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll now tell him, there's a couple of copper back there. You go find, and then after, you go ahead of cart.
Yes.
And Skeeve,
I
they
tell
go,
everyone.
no, to flip it.
Blue wind thing lose.
Flip
Wind
it.
thing lose breath contest. Yes.
Flip it did not win. He cheated. Flip it is a cheating.
Last to breathe. Blue wind thing first to bleed.
So, Vanger, are you on like a group finder at the moment, looking for a new team, or confidence ratings drop?
I think he's sort of humming to himself, tuning it out a little bit.
Like it's maybe reminiscent because obviously like dwarves quite enjoy their competition, right? Like they enjoy like feats of strength and various other such like boasts. Like they enjoy the act of showing off, not necessarily the proving it part, but yeah, like
I think he's probably like sort of quietly like, because I'm assuming we're going to be traveling for a while, so if we go a spell's water too, because we'll be renewed before we get anywhere. Like, just quietly creating water into an empty cup, just chugging that back since he's not getting his water back apparently. Muttering to himself and humming, probably badly. I imagine he's a bad hummer.
Is it in the bell? Like, is that where you're creating the water?
Is there where it's a tune we should know, but it's out of tune when humming?
Just,
Hey, Wagner, do you want bet of holding breath?
Oh no, sorry, holding reins.
Oh, sorry. It's probably wise we do not bet on that.
the phrase holding reins, right, after having made water fall into a cup is quite impressive, right?
I didn't even think of
Like,
that.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Making it rain, you could say, anger in the front and all the money falling around.
The water's probably got like just odds and ends from his bag of weird foods stuck in it.
You mean mushrooms, let's face it.
Well, I mean, probably not just mushrooms, but you know.
Also,
good-
thank you for the follow. This is Overtell. Overtell.
You had a father.
Yeah.
I slightly mould the apple for flavour.
Nice.
It's still cold water, so I don't know
Yeah.
what it's doing.
And yeah, I think with that, you.
So-
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, is Fleabite actually?
Gonna go look
Up
for the
front,
copper.
Yeah, is he? Oh no, well,
I'm
did he
gonna
go look for-
let's find out. So, Fleabite, did you go looking for the 3 copper, or did you just not bother?
Like, I feel since oh, have I just lost?
We're still here. Keep talking.
Yeah, we hear you.
It's roll 20. Everybody's affected.
Yeah, everyone's got it.
When I presume because he lost them before Fleabite held his breath, and he did hold his breath for quite a while, so they would be pretty far back.
I mean, it's like you're a fast rat, to be honest.
But he's very lightheaded right now because of how much he held his breath. Should he be rushing off to find the copper?
I mean, he's on the adrenaline of winning, though. The victory adrenaline.
Yeah. and my mage hand can go start picking up the coins.
You need to find them first, but yeah, like you can go look for them, and the mage hand can do all the heavy lifting for you if need be.
Yes.
All those heavy coppers.
I think I'm sorry, but I think Fleabite is gonna just quickly jump off to see if he can find.
Yeah, just roll perception. We'll see if you find them.
Unfortunately, as he starts searching, he's on that super high, and probably just bring out the Jezebel. Just start like ringing it. Just be like, yes, Skaven win. Fleabite best. Fleabite have greatest breath. Better than wind thing.
Fleabite is such a silly little rat.
As the bell falls.
Is the bell completely necessary?
It is what he does.
Right. That's gonna take some getting used to.
He has a bell.
It's a good touch. I appreciate this.
It's all right.
Did Roll20 just log everyone out? Or is that just me?
I'm just not even touching roll 20 until it sorts itself out.
Anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone.
It's
Oh, no, you're up.
it's not that
Reality.
it's not that it logs you out. It's just that obviously if the connection goes, it doesn't.
Refraction, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's not for me.
So yeah. So, do you want to give me some perception, Fleabite, or as you ring this bell happily? The most stealthiest of rats.
I was gonna say it's not a good idea to ring a bell in it.
He's not a wise rat. That isn't what Fleabite is.
He's
Fleabite's.
just a winner.
A winner. Yeah.
He's just a winner.
I mean, I look at the
Anything else, that's the word I would use.
I look at the people we've lost along the way and the decisions Fleabite has made going forward, and yes, surprisingly, still with us.
That is true.
Did you push perception? Because it definitely hasn't made it to me yet. Just FYI.
Nope.
Don't see
My
him.
character sheet is still coming.
Mm.
Normal or disadvantage?
Oh, I mean normal, yeah. Like there's. I feel like Fleabite was counting the revolutions of the wheels in his mind based on
It's
that.
very light-headed.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they'll need to shout you back based on how long you're willing to spend looking for these 3 coins.
Yes.
But I don't think you find them, buddy. Yeah, it's
I will
very
go.
overgrown.
And I just imagine he's got the mage hand like pulling through
Mhm.
like long grass and pushing the leaves out of the way, but no avail.
The mage claw, yes.
Yes, I know. Can we say that it's like a flea bite claw?
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely assume it looks like whoever's casting it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I assume that makes the most sense, right? I mean, in the games past, I've used it as an umbrella because it can fill a 5-foot square. So
Oh, good.
I just put a mage hand above me. I'm like, I don't want to get wet.
But does it cause a shadow?
A spectral shadow. Is it a death effect, Colin?
That's
Uh,
an excellent question.
The answer is yes and no.
ISO in the back of like fucking stained napkin. Just presumably where they write their.
It's where the poison rules are, at least. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, also.
So, you've got Fleabite ringing a bell and looking through the brush. What do you two do? Considering this is very alerting.
As the bell gradually grows more distant,
Mm-hmm.
probably say to Adair, is it wise to let him wander off like that?
He's good tracker. He is very good at finding things. This is why I'm saying he should go ahead of us to scout. Whereas, we will not go too far so as he cannot find us.
Well,
Bell gets
let's
quieter.
sort it.
I like to believe it's your mage hand's probably holding the bell, ringing it while you're looking.
Yeah.
Maybe we should slow down so that we do not
Yes.
lose him. But no, I have great the Fleabeat is good at what he do.
Many got back there.
It was but maybe 3 piece of copper. Whereas, I give him his winnings because, well, I have learned it's not best to stay on Fleabeat bad side because he might try and eat me at night.
Yes, yes.
So
Strange
Um,
creature.
he gets some getting used to, but he's good at what he do. Believe me, in the
He's a
battles,
winner.
believe me, in the fighting, you will appreciate having the Fleabeat with us.
Yeah,
He's a winner.
I'm sure. Sure. Just, be happier if he wasn't gradually coming harder to hear.
Well, let us slow the cartoon so that he can
Oh
definitely.
yeah, at this point I have slowed.
Mhm.
We will wait for the Fleabeat to catch up, but we cannot wait forever. So maybe if you shout him to come, maybe say you have tea. He's recently very obsessed with tea.
I do have actually.
Puts mushroom in cup.
Be
Fleabite!
careful.
Fleabite! Excuse me. And he probably does more yelling,
Mhm.
coughing, and fluttering along the way, which I'm not going to do because it hurts my throat.
Mhm. Understandable.
You're not allowed to nowadays, COVID.
Oh yeah, because it's now considered hate crime.
We're not far off
Oh,
that,
lying,
to be honest.
lying.
We're not actually that far off that, according to the latest from the BBC. Anyway, so
Okay.
Fleabite, I think you can hear Vanger's voice in between the ringing of the bell, as the bell slowly gets sadder, I guess, because you're not finding.
Slowly will.
It would only go 13 times then.
Okay.
Oh, any more to make sense.
Mhm.
Everyone knows that.
Puts the cloth back in, stows it away. Yes, knowing that there is more copper out there. Try and follow the voice back to.
Yeah, I think you can get back there. So, for the montage of that scenario, like the first thing I need to ask before that is, does Adair give him money when he gets back?
Oh no, I did. Well, I believe I did.
Like my recollection, I could be wrong, but my recollection is you kept your money.
Sorry, I have kept my money because he
So
cheated.
far, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I gave him the 3 copper I dropped.
I mean, you didn't really. Like
I suggested.
you're just yeah,
If he finds that copper, he can
which
have
he
that
didn't.
copper. So that's not my fault, and that's what cheaters get, you know.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just because you'd said to Vanger that you were going to give him winnings.
I honestly thought I did. Yeah. I couldn't quite remember, but
Well,
because
this
he
is-
did cheat.
Okay, so what you're saying is you didn't say that to Vanger. You're in fact very suggesting that you're willing to go on his bad side and possibly be eaten in your sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just because obviously it changes the entire narrative you had before.
Or he could have said it and just been completely talking out his arse. Like,
I'm-
it doesn't even have to be lying. Could just be saying.
I mean, a dare's a dare, so.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't have rules to govern that, though, Colin. You know, I have rules for what people intend to say and don't intend to say, and that's it. That's all I got. And those rules are bad. So, yeah. But anyway, so Fleabite gets back, and there's no payment for Fleabite at all.
Because he cheated, and he did, and he knows he did, and that's why he was so desperate just to find those 3 copper. And yeah.
I mean, Fleabite knows he won. That's the only thing Fleabite knows.
So yeah, and everyone else knows the truth, so it's good.
Yeah, right. Right, moving forward then, with that, you've got a montage to deal with, so I'll need animal handling rolls from our 2 Cartiers, and I'll need probably a survival check from our scout, right, or a perception, whatever you would prefer for navigating versus being savvy. You can pick what Fleabite cares about more. Avoiding encounters or getting to the right place. And survival will get you to the right place, and perception will help avoid encounters.
Acrobatics, you say?
I think that's what I said, yeah. No?
Ryan, you just want the 1 animal handling for me.
From one from you and one from Vanger.
Get one then.
Oh, for the love of.
Alright, so we know the horses prefer the guy probably feeding them mushrooms, so...
Yep.
Like I mentioned apples, so they can
Yeah.
have some of the apples.
Yeah.
I'll share it with them.
Perfect.
Hygienically.
Perfect.
Everyone doesn't give a shit about hygiene.
So, okay, obviously a couple of days pass, people can have full rests and whatnot. I'm just going to assume these are rotating people sleeping in the cart, as opposed to actually stopping, and just kind of moving on the go.
Actually, what did the party say to long rest? Like, should we stop, set up camp, or because it's kind of mean on the horses if we just constantly go and leave?
Yes.
What kind of time frame are we talking about?
I would say sunset. When the sun's going down, we should set up a camp with a fire and, make sure we're in a safe
Okay,
area.
so you definitely do want to make stops then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
That seems fair. That does make sense.
It's only fair to the horses, so.
so yeah, like we obviously know Fleabite's very confident in where to go. Just on that high of winning.
Still looking for copper.
Yeah, like just
It
even
just might be there.
in the wrong direction, still looking through the brush, being like, what if the coins went forward? No concept of the fact that they're clearly miles away. But yeah,
I know they fell on the ground. They must be here on the ground.
I'm looking at the ground. Why aren't they here?
Yeah.
Spatial awareness, yeah. Spatial relativity, I guess. But yeah, so some time passes. Obviously, several days pass of this going on and off and on and off, and horses are being relatively maintained. Like supply-wise, these are probably not kitted out for like a long trip, right? You didn't have much in the way of supplies for really leaving Runestad. So, like, what is the ration count currently that everybody has on their sheets?
Excellent question.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Mm-hmm. So I think we can easily mark away 3 of those, unless you want to roll survival to see if you hunted anything.
I mean, you know what?
Yeah, like
After the next one, next one we'll maybe do that, okay?
it's you want.
7 this time, but
Okay, cool.
we'll
Adair.
talk no water skin at the moment. Forgot about that.
At the moment, I have 5 rations left, but I would rather try and find local animal, kind of like hunt or set trap.
Sure. Do you have a trap?
I have rope that I could tie into a trap, like a snare.
Okay, so do you want to roll survival? We'll see how well all that goes. You trying to catch enough for everybody, or just you?
I'll see how it go. I mean,
I
ideally,
I feel like you tell me how much you're looking to trap, and then I know a difficulty level.
Okay, well, if I were hunting, I mean, in the area,
That really doesn't matter what you're hunting. Something edible is fine, but if you're trying to get something for you, that's a lot easier than for everybody, including horses, right? Although horses probably don't want to eat like game.
They don't want to eat. Yeah.
But the survival check is scavenging enough food, be it fruit from trees or edible berries. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter what you're hunting. That's specifics I don't care about. We can decide what that is after we know if you got any.
Fair enough. I would ideally aim to feed all 3 of us, but I'll be happy.
And the horses or not the horses?
The horses, I'd assume we have to feed. No,
No, you don't.
I
No.
thought someone did though.
I thought we did,
I'll
but
feed
that
them.
might have been someone else.
You happy to feed them, Venger?
Yeah.
Because that would be 6 rations.
Well, hold on. If we count the 3 against them, and then we do a bit of survival. How about that?
Okay, but there's 2 horses.
So it'll be 6, so it'll be 3 each.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to take the weight of one of them. Can we do a survival roll and see what I can scrounge?
I mean, somebody did, and they did badly. Would you like to try yourself? Yes.
I
There we
dare
go.
you stop. Yes! Ragnar to the rescue!
Yes, the actual druid to the rescue.
To be fair.
How'd that work?
Right.
I'm used to city life, I'm sorry.
Yeah, same. Literally my background.
How much would that be? How much would that count towards?
That's just a successful survival check. You're able to find food for everybody and the horses. So
Lovely.
yeah. You don't even need to spend your rations for that. I'll let you keep them. Yeah, you can keep your 10.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, keep your 10. That's good. Because keep in mind, these rolls are like encompassing 3 days of travel, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the risk reward should reflect that, right? If you're starving for 3 days with a 7, that's bad, but having a 23 should cover you, right? Like, that it should be fair either way.
So basically, Adair was terrible in the wilderness.
Adair jumps off and just like
That's where
gets his foot stuck in a rock or some shit like that. It's just like, I have found rock.
Look, have you seen that rock? It reminds me of other rocks, but I've not seen this rock before.
It is very attached to me.
I like this rock is nice. It cuddles my foot.
So luckily you don't starve. However, Fleabite's ability to lead you guys there. So at some point on the 4th day, also Adair will talk about what has unspilled in your brain next week.
Indeed, yeah. Not next week, I'm afraid, but
No. Next time we play, like
yes,
like
next time I'm there.
time is irrelevant. Like whenever I say next week, it's the next time we're playing. So yes.
Yes.
But use all. Fleabite leads you perfectly towards the coast. You could say, isn't that right, Fleabite?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fleabite is a winner. Of course he'll take you to the coast.
Yeah, 100% to the coast. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that travel at all, other than this.
What the hell?
So,
Sort of.
I mean, technically that's most.
I never said he didn't get you there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
Is
please
that
say
the
that's our
boat?
original ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All ships in many ways.
Yeah.
But do we hear Alvin's voice coming from it?
The best thing about it is, it's very possible you could have been led the complete wrong way. And that's glorious. It's just definitely not been enough days, because you have not made enough progress in 3 days to get back to that place, sadly. So you can probably guess it isn't your original ship. Probably guess that from a glance. However, it is kind of hard to tell when the thing's like in the condition that it's in. You know, it's not exactly in the best of conditions. So, yeah. And obviously we'll end the session there, because, you know, the battle music starts kicking up and Fleabite's like, "Ta-da, look, the coast!" Ignoring the obvious threat.
Hey guys, look, water! I found it.
Water? You want some water? We got water.
We don't have
We
to
got
drink
water.
the druid's special water anymore.
Oh, you mean that yellowy stuff?
At least my water isn't salty.
I mean,
Unlike these seamen.
oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Here we are. So, titles for the session. I've got-
literally tallest finger of his hand.
That's just horrible. I hate it. It's a horrible phrase. It sounds like something you'd hear at Salad Fingers. So,
Two carts.
no.
For the first.
So I've got Making It Rain and He's a Winner are my two suggestions, but I'm
Two
open.
horses, one cart.
No.
Hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath, maybe.
Don't hold your breath.
For a fistful of coppers.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3. Copper.
Anything else? Any other suggestions?
it's
It's just
finger in the hand.
it's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. If MD in Twitch chat has a suggestion, you've got like probably about 30 seconds before my attention span moves on.
Anyone in Twitch should vote for tallest finger in the hand.
Or you're suggesting a new title they thought was important.
Or they can always vote for tallest finger in the hand.
It's just horrible.
But that's fine.
I vote for myself.
Okay, I see.
I vote for tallest finger in the hand.
Okay, so it's up to me now. I see how this works.
Anyways,
Vote for yourself and we'll see who wins on Twitch.
many ways it always was.
I mean, I suppose that's true, Colin. I don't know. I quite like. I do quite like for a fistful of coppers, but I feel like if I'm accepting that, tallest finger in the hand has to win, because normally I discount those because of the length of the sentence, and it is the same length really as for a fistful of coppers. So I think
Also, it's a very intriguing title when you think about it. Like, tallest finger in the hand. What?
yeah. The only thing is though, I need to fucking type it because you didn't put capitalization everywhere. You've ruined it. That's why I shouldn't have voted for it, really, to be honest. Just on principle of having to retype it. It's not like I haven't changed titles in the past. Tallest finger in the hand. Not for this game, but in general, yeah. I'll usually explain or discuss it though beforehand. Right, so we've done that. Let's have a look at goals, shall we? Oh my gods. So, right, why are the chuds here? These chuds in this world. I feel like if it wasn't kind of completed last session, you've made zero progress this session. So,
Well, I've discovered that they are being forced out of every world they go to.
but you knew that last time. No new information on that particular thing has come up. So why? Do you see what I mean? Why wasn't it completed last time? Right? I don't
I can't think why it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's there either, personally.
So is that completed then?
I mean, I'm still gonna say no if it wasn't completed last time.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
I feel we've got a lot of knowledge to that.
I mean, it doesn't get to sit for a whole session not completed and then automatically gets completed with zero work done to it. Yeah.
We discussed it.
Did we? Did we though?
The
We
Illith.
know more now.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you though?
about the fact that they're now that we know about the Elith
The Illithid, yeah.
Right.
We know about the
Yeah.
Githyanki, the Githseri, they're brothers, but it's all about the Illithid, and that's why they're here, because the Illithid are taking on hosts,
Yeah,
and that's leading them to different worlds, and yeah.
that's more like pushing them out.
Mhm.
And then the Githzerai, the Githyanki are following the Githzerai.
Mhm.
Not that the Githyanki are the ones causing the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Look at that. Look at you just learning and remembering. Yeah. We can have that one completed. Get it off the board, Adair.
Yeah, boss.
Right. Next. Fleabite.
Fleabite had such a good opportunity to learn about magic tea from the magic druid, and he completely forgot and missed it. Damn it.
Oh.
We can do it next session once we're back in the room.
And thank you very much, XX covert_cell XX. Thank you. Which is very reminiscent to Mrs. Covert Cell. Thank you, both of you, for the follow.
Is that some sort of covert cell?
I do not know, but hello, welcome, and thank you.
And
Right, so learn how to brew the specialty. Are we going to progress with this, or is it getting replaced?
So, I'm getting a sense that next week is probably not going to, or next time, sorry, probably not going to be a good opportunity to learn tea. But
Yeah, I'm kind of like, what's going on?
I'm just waiting. So like, what's happening? What's the new goal going to be then? If there is going to be one, or are you going to keep a hold of it, buddy?
Can it be do more damage than Adair in the upcoming fight?
Literally just more competitive behavior, yeah. So yeah, if you wanted that, you could have that as your goal. Yeah, I don't mind. So long as it is a significant amount of damage, though. Like, give me numbers.
So more is not.
No.
Aim for 50, Gith.
In a fight with zero Gith.
Can do 25% more damage than.
That's math. No.
So, you want to do more than 20 damage? Did you say?
25%.
I feel like that's a very weak way of saying it. Like, come on, you can do better than that,
how
Alexander.
about defeat more pirates?
Well,
They are
what
pirates,
does defeat
right?
mean? Get the last
them.
hit, or
Or make them submit?
They're invaders. They don't want to submit. They're here to conquer.
So, like, you could easily have kill more enemies than Adair. I'll let you have that.
and does kill an enemy just mean getting the final hit on?
I mean, don't know. I feel like you'd need to have probably had a significant participation in their demise, right? That makes sense, right? Because then you don't just cast magic missile at the end of the fight after watching your two party mates like nearly die.
Well, exactly. That's why I was sort of wanting to do like total damage.
Yeah, because keep in mind, Fleabite needs to be able to complete that goal, right? So Fleabite doesn't know about health totals,
Right, I see.
right? So you wouldn't be able to complete that goal as Fleabite if you knew that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know.
So contribute more. Okay, so what was it? Contribute to, or you had better words.
Thanks. Okay, so yeah, significantly contribute towards the demise of the enemies in the upcoming fight, more so than a dare. How's that? Too wordy for you?
I'm
Hold
really
on, let's find
struggling
one of
to-
Callum's goals.
Oh god. Yeah, the essays that he normally puts in. Right, so flea bite, hurt kill, more bad than blue wind thing. How's that?
Perfect.
Flea bite, hurt kill, more bad than blue wind thing. And we know what that means, right?
That was
Yeah, it was almost Miss Piggy, I think, that one.
same different.
On my phone, I am really struggling to actually do things on the Cave Manager.
Done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Vanger?
Excellent question.
That is an excellent question. Others?
Yeah, so I was thinking of having like a more immediate. But although they've kind of taken my advice. Have I convinced them? I'd say yes. Others may differ.
I'd say no.
Fuck you. I was thinking about replacing it with something more immediate. So something like alive through the fight. Is that too simple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Like flea bites is really kind of pushing it as well, but
I'm
he
not-
he,
I'm not
he needs a
sure.
win.
I'm honestly not sure.
Right, okay. So about you could have something about like proving your might or something. That's like a bad wording.
Prove my worth.
So worth's a bad vague bullshit term, right? I mean, impress them, right? Like, this is the Gandalf screaming at children thing, right? Like,
Scream at children.
yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't just be something they're used to, be something new and different and, clearly useful to them. I know that sounds like proving your worth, but the phrase is just so vague, and then it's just that you're still in the same boat of that's exactly what your goal is right now. Right?
Yeah, sort of. It isn't. Yeah.
But like,
No,
it would be the equivalent of walking in and casting Earthquake straight away, right? And being like, well, that's that done. And then we're like, wait, what? You're capable of that? And you're like, oh, like, that would be impressive, right? So that could be an option, right? It could also be something like similar to the way Flea Bite's goal's worded, right? You could have it where you want to, like, manage the fight or keep the burden of the fight on you, for example. Right? Difficult goal, right? Fights can go very strange ways.
Also, I'm not super armored. Tough, but
So it's up to you. It just depends what spells, obviously, you're taking into this fight. So, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say since we've had some short rest, like long rests, or a couple I might switch out if that was.
There would be, I'll give you some scope in that, right? Like, I feel like metagame wise, you wouldn't know you were going to get into combat.
Yeah.
I just want that to be aware. But it would make sense to have some survival spells prepared, right, for traveling.
Yeah.
So,
I was actually thinking, like, I've got several ways to do poison, so I thought, like, maybe
Yeah.
Shillelagh instead of one of them.
Yeah. So cantrips don't get changed though.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, you don't change cantrips. But you do.
Okay.
I let people change them on level ups though, because that seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Ooh.
Yeah, because like they don't change normally.
Well,
I was going to say once you choose a cantrip, normally you're stuck with it.
Yeah, I don't mind people changing one out in a lot, like not a long rest, but like a level up, because that seems fair, right? Especially if it's a complete dead weight to you. As a spit
I
card.
take that to note because I think there's one or two cantrips I've never used, and
I mean, make a note of it and then do it for the next time to level up. Yeah.
if that's cushy with you, then that's amazing with me. So,
As I said, next time you level up, just change the ones you're not using, right?
sweet,
Cool.
awesome.
Yep. that seems fair, because again, as somebody that plays spellcaster, I don't want to waste time in spell slots and things I don't get to use. Besides that though, Wenger, what are we thinking for your goal? Do we think, do you think it's worth still having, like, convince these weirdos and worth listening to? Because, I mean, if you can be impressive enough in the combat, that could also contribute towards that, right?
Yeah, I suppose it could, couldn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not certain at all. So I think we'll leave it as is for the time being.
Yeah.
Probably.
Good. I guess we've got some goals.
I think I'll
slotted.
also leave my spells as is for the time being because I think I've enough variety. Because
Well, I was going to say, like, feel free to like take the week and obviously think about it and just make sure it's done before we reconvene or whenever our next session is, if it isn't next week. So just take stock of it and we'll see. Because as I said, I don't mind as long as you've got stuff that you'd still need for survival and then combat. It makes sense you'd have a mix. So yeah, you know what the rules are. Just don't be bullshitty and we're good. Especially with prep. Beyond that though, wrap up chat time. So we'll just work from the top, I guess. Adair?
Tonight was awesome. We finally got to speak to the what's her name? Anorak?
It's the Anorak, yes.
The Anorak.
Yep.
The Anarch.
Mhm.
Anarch. Right.
Yes.
So we got to speak to her. We didn't actually. I meant to in roleplay was be like, "Hello, my name is Adair. What is yours?" But I forgot to do that. Mainly because at that time I was trying to get Fleabite to do all the talking. So
Of course.
that's karma for you. But no, I'm glad we got to speak to her. We've got a better mission in my mind. You know, having Runestead as a possible win. It seemed funny, but no, I like the aspect. The invasion is the name of this game. And to have the dragon on our side to defeat the invaders, that sounds fucking awesome to me. So
Yeah.
I love the new sort of path I'm on.
Good.
But yeah, no, all good.
Especially if you get to took it a bit, if there were some spells you'd taken that you weren't like, that sucks. So yeah, definitely get them swapped out and we'll make sure you're operating at full efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but all good. And Ryan, as always, good game, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much for playing. Fleabite.
Fleabite is winner.
So good. Tallest finger in the hand, currently. That's how we measure success in this one. Fleabite is the tallest finger in the hand.
And Fleabite will have exact his payment eventually.
Pounds of flesh.
That I was so happy.
Well, he fucked up his con roll.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was nothing. Like, I didn't even really manage to do anything. Give Fleabite the advantage, but
The thing is, like, mathematically, you'd have to have done that within a minute of holding your breath, though, just so you know how that scene technically played out. Because otherwise your mage hand would have disappeared. So, yeah. Narratively hand-waving that, you know? Because it was a funny scene. Just the idea that your DC is so low, it's a 10, right? For him to beat. You're so bad at magic, because you're a small rat man. And you still manage to poke him enough.
It's the aspect. Adair is meant to be this guy who's awesome and fails every.
It's the fact that you've, like, it's against Fleabite though, I think, is the better comparison to this. You know, the person who occasionally tries things and then just gets like wrapped up in someone else's cloak to just put him out the way, like a budgie making too much noise, right? Like, this is what Cognac's like approach to like Fleabite handling has been: is you're being a problem, I'll put you in a cloak. You know,
just wrap him. No one's going to notice.
And then Fleabite just accepts that though, which is the best bit about it. So it's just trained Cognac in telling him it works, because then Fleabite gets carried or dragged. Luxury, really, quite frankly, in very nice cloaks that you can dirty up by being in them.
Don't have to spend the energy.
Fleabite sleeps in bumpy floor. Good, yeah.
I really like that. I have some reservations about unleashing a dragon.
Is this Alexander or Fleabite?
more so Alexander than Fleabite, I guess. Yes, Fleabite's idea of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Still, people are like a tangible enemy. Exploited.
Yeah, it's easy to stab a person, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For
Whereas
Fleabite.
just a dragon can just melt a lot of people and or cats.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy. And while working for Von Roon,
Mm-hmm.
also was super appealing to it might take some work convincing him to that. And I think things like the message from Damien.
Mm-hmm. I just the dragon must live. My people need me. I must go. Yes. Mm-hmm. Fleabite tucks the eyes away in a safe pocket.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
His necklace grows.
100% not canon.
Head cannon. Yeah, so that looking forward to that. Tentatively looking forward to next time.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that Fleabite has a spell save DC of 10,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
this is gonna change.
He's a force to be reckoned with. No longer the peasantry of DC 9. DC 10.
Well, it beat me, so.
It did. It's so good.
Oh, and that is gonna come up so often. Whenever Dare says anything, Fleabite's just gonna be like, well, I out. How my breath compared to.
See if Fleabite was if Fleabite
cheated.
if Fleabite was sassier, the best reply to anything Adair says is just, "Well, don't hold your breath."
Oh.
It's just if Fleabite was
Well,
sassier.
unfortunately, he's not allowed to say that because that's too quick.
I mean,
Right?
you could roll for it, right? He's probably going to crit on that.
No, the way I'm rolling tonight, no.
No, I mean Fleabite. So yeah, that's been good. It was a good session for Fleabite, to be honest.
It was.
I mean, he never got any copper, but still, the potential that copper exists is good.
And the bragging rights.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's almost worthy of adding a title to Fleabite, quite frankly, the victory you gained. Oh dear.
And it's just like a lot of the things particularly with Adair and Fleabite being just very petty individual. And the fact that Adair is a roguish and now slightly magicish, it's like very much stepping on Fleabite's toes. The fact that he was able to do him something with magic. Be riding that high for.
I wasn't using magic. That's just a natural ability on my behalf. Fleabite cheating with magic.
I mean, to Fleabite it's a natural ability because he can do it. I think that's as far as his thoughts went on that matter. Oh, I still love just the image of as soon as the coppers appear, the mage hand appears, whether he cast the spell or not, was just like somebody drooling at like a meal, right? It's the same idea. Oh, it's good. It was good fun.
But no, thanks.
So the hand is his lust hand.
Yes.
Claw.
Yes, the lust claw.
The lust claw.
Yeah, thanks for great session.
Yeah, they're good. Thanks for playing as well. It was good fun.
I go through that one for some.
Definitely. Please do. Clip away. Wenger.
I like winning at food.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's nice. I got to do some rolls in appropriate thematically fitting, which is always nice.
I think.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, like on that note, like from a group dynamic, because they have been used to other people supplying food for them, generally in survival situations, like Cognac's usually the one that will maybe go off and do that. Like, yeah, maybe even Thea a push, but like the idea that then I don't even think Fleabite attempted, quite frankly, to get food, but like, because Fleabite's usually fed or will just chew on a body, right? But like the idea that Adair's like, well, I guess I best give this a go. Where is the tavern? Walks around, maybe jingling bag of money to try and attract animals.
Has copper for you. Come, get the copper.
Like,
I'm not going to eat you, honest.
looks at components to build trap and goes, I know I can make a trap if I look at you hard enough at the rope and various other things.
Tavern goes, do you sell fish and chips?
Whereas the idea that you, this new person to them, just like hops off the cart, buggers off into the woods for a bit, comes back with like a fucking buffet. Yeah, it's good.
That was fun.
It also technically should contribute to proving your worth, right, guys?
Slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
Start acknowledging my worth.
Slightly.
Now, damn it. Mechanically, it benefits you. Anyway.
I'd say if there was a track of like 0 to 5, I would say we're definitely looking at a 2 out of 5, right? I'd say his ability to feed you guys is done you good.
That is illegal.
Yeah, you're right. 100% illegal.
So, yeah, that's cool. And obviously, I'm quite eager to get into combat and see what this guy can do. Because I haven't built him to be a frontline guy, just to be durable. So this might be a little dicey because obviously our tank is not present. And may not be, depending on when this.
It's very unlikely you'll ever see Cognac ever again, put it that way. Like mathematically and schedule-wise, I just don't see him being able to play. So yeah, I'll join. I'll be F in the chat for poor Cognac. Yeah, just scheduling issues. As I said, this is why we're looking for
I think between
more
us,
people.
With my abilities as okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it was nice. It was just a little bit of like a kind of working out of the dynamic. Which again, like it's gonna be difficult almost as soon as I joined. Like, party lost some more members, and it's like this. Yeah, it's awkward again, but I see that. We've got to try and sort of work out the dynamic again with less people in it.
But it's quite it's almost in a good way though, because you have to readdress the dynamic when you lose the status quo, right? So by losing like some of the players and then adding in new people, obviously that helps you in a way because they're both having to like adapt how they play based on the lack of other people. Just the same as if we did introduce, let's say we did find say 3 new players, because I said it would go up to 6 for the game. But like if we did manage to get 3 new people, the dynamic would shift again, right? Because the roles you would need to fulfill would become less so if we had people to step in. So obviously if you had like the ranger that really likes animals and is so good with horses, well, they're likely to want to deal with all the animal nonsense you've had to deal with recently, right?
What are you talking about? We have a ranger. He's just in the woods right now.
He's just wandering somewhere. Yeah.
Narratively skewed.
Yeah.
Slightly blind.
Buried boots.
Turns out someone gave him a mushroom and he went into the woods and
Fleabite's got was it a Damien-shaped dent in the bell? Yes. It's fine. It's completely fine. But yes, Vanger, if you want to add, buddy, are we good?
No, nothing's coming to mind. But yeah, I had fun and I look forward to hitting things.
Yeah.
Healing things.
Yeah, that's what you built them for, so it'll be good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I obviously skipped over bonds because I feel like we're kind of no longer really needing them. I feel like we could probably get rid of the water wings, right? I'll leave the page existing though. We'll have them still if people want to, like, even for your own managements, right? Feel free to use the page if you want, but I'm not necessarily going to be referring to them unless we get new people that are quite new to the hobby. We can go back to using it. But
I'm going to work on a goal for next time, as I can't think of anything just now, so
I mean,
like a new goal.
Yeah, that's fine. Like as I said, we sort out goals at the end of the sessions anyway, so just obviously I think of goals all the time. Feel free to put notes of goals you have somewhere as well. Like I don't mind if you have a stockpile of them, things you'd like to get through, but yeah. We can obviously reassess the goal system to see what's going to work better for like the group dynamic as it shifts, because individual goals might not be a better thing. It's maybe better having one party goal for a while. I don't know, but we can discuss that as well if you have ideas. I don't mind. Whatever you think you can get the most XP out of, I don't mind trying. That isn't just me giving you handfuls of XP each week. So yeah, I'm okay with that. We'll see how that turns out. But it looks like there's a pile of XP on the beach waiting to be collected, so it's gonna be good to scoop up. Yeah. Thank you all for playing. It was fun as always. Interesting to get used to the new dynamic myself. Nice to hear everybody be very vocal and participatory. Thank you to everybody who watched as well. Also people from my high school. Hello. So yes, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Onver Arge.